there's been a lot of unlikely things that have happened over the years in the NBA. We've seen the greatest regular season team of all time blow a 3-1 lead. We've seen the best player in modern NBA history leave his hometown team. But none of that surprised me more than Masai Ujiri finally trading Pascal Siakam after he finally traded OG Anunoby. We've been begging for years for this team to get blown the hell up. And y'all, he finally did it.
It's finally over. I am so happy. These guys were hanging on by a thread. There's a dude on TikTok. His name is Juice. He's been trying for 162 days to get his hairline back in. It's not working. That's the equivalent of Masai Ujiri holding on to this core and trying to keep a championship roster together. I'm happy it's done. It is a new era. It's a new day in Toronto.
Finally, bro. We were fucking held captive by this team. It was like an obligation to talk about it. It was horrible. Yeah, finally, man. We can see a new team flourish under Scotty Barnes' realm.
Yeah, man. As soon as the trade happened, I heard my neighbor fall down to her knees. She's an 86-year-old lady, sweet Dominican lady. She fell down to her knees saying, yes! And I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong? And she was like, look! And she showed me the news and I'm like, damn, we saw this trade in the works basically when we were streaming on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Tune in every Monday, by the way. And we were like, damn, what can this trade package potentially look like? And we were all thinking that this trade would involve some young player, whether it be Jarris Walker, Bennett Mathurin, or Andrew Nembhard, but they walked away without having to give up any one of those young dudes. And my question to y'all is like, how do y'all feel about this trade?
Wait, question, real quick. Question to your question. You had this whole conversation with the 86-year-old Dominican lady? Is this what happened?
She's a casual. She wasn't into the weeds, bro. She was like, oh my God, Bruce Brown. The Raptors are so bad. She don't know what the fuck she talking about.
She's, oh my God, what are the ramifications for the Pacers' help defense on the interior? She was freaking out. Yeah, like Mo said, we saw this trade, the news initially break that it was about to happen soon by Shams, happened while we were live streaming. So like you said, every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, check it out. You can watch the VOD right now. This past week, we did a live watch along to Joel Embiid versus Jokic. And that's at the same time it happened. It was great. And also, before we get to answering most questions, if you're watching on YouTube, do us a favor, drop a like and subscribe. If you're on audio platforms, 5 stars, review, all that. Yeah, man, the first things first, before we get to the topic of the episode, as you guys see, we're going to talk about everything we expect to happen at the trade deadline, or more like we want to happen. We got to talk about this trade in depth.
The cranium is crazy! Oh my God!
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters, rejoice!
So Nikhil has his tweet pulled up that says, Masai turned OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam into Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, Kira Lewis, 3 first-round picks, and 1 second-round pick. How do you guys feel about the totality of these two moves put together?
Masai Ujiri beat the washed allegations, right? For years.
Okay, you like it.
I think the only person who would be disappointed in this trade is 2020 Masai Ujiri, because he was asking for four first-round picks for everybody, and obviously like that didn't happen. But if you actually had a realistic sense of what trades look like in the NBA, I think this is a very good haul. You have a point guard who can play very well next to Scotty Barnes. RJ Barrett looks absolutely rejuvenized now that he's playing back at home. They're probably going to flip Bruce Brown and get even more assets. Got some young players, first-round picks. This is a perfect way to start a rebuild or a retool, whatever you want to call it. But Masai did a fantastic job, in my opinion, on these trades.
Yeah.
So totality, I see this and I'm like, bro, you could have gone a haul similar to this if you would have traded away only Pascal Siakam if you did that shit last year. And when I see this, I'm like, okay, at least he did something. And he tried his best to maximize what he did. But overall, if I'm a Raptors fan, I don't feel like the absolute best, because if you look at this entire catalog of options and assets that they got, this upcoming draft is insane, not insanely weak, but it's not looking very impressive whatsoever. You have 3 first-round picks that really don't move the needle. And you have, I personally would say 1, but I guess I have to pay respects to RJ Barrett since he's been genuinely hooping. 2 players who you might foresee yourself like really involving them alongside Scotty Barnes and them boys. So it's like, I don't feel too good about this trade, but I am content is what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that he should have did this. They should have been blown up a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. They should have traded Fred VanVleet and not let him walk for nothing. That's the obvious part, right? Like, it wasn't handled well. But as far as what he was actually able to do this year, better late than never. It's all right. I think it's kind of surprising that he got 3 first-round picks for Pascal Siakam for a guy who has 4 months left on his contract before the season ends and he goes into unrestricted free agency. So I think the kind of lead up to that was, lead up to the deal. The talks were maybe they can get a first and maybe 2 firsts if they're lucky in expiring contracts. So even though the first they got aren't premier first-round picks, it's not from a great tanking team that's going to net them a top-tier lottery pick or anything. Assets are assets. You got to accumulate them, have as many bites as apple as you can. You can flip them later. Late first round picks turn to Desmond Baines all the time. So not terrible when you think about what the position they were in, but you just can't help but think they could have been in a much better position if he didn't sit on his hands for so long.
That's true. But also at the same time, I feel like last year, everybody still had Rudy Gobert brain, and everybody was like, hey, Rudy Gobert got 4 first round picks. So if I'm trading Pascal Siakam, I need 7 first round picks. That's what I need. And so Masai probably thought, okay, I can go and get this massive, massive haul. But everybody had the same thought where it was, if you're trading somebody away, you think that you're supposed to get this massive haul because, well, that's what Gobert went for. But then everybody else is like, yo, be for real. That was a mistake on the Timberwolves' part. I'm not giving you that just for anybody. That was an outlier. So it was probably it's this back and forth in the league. So now that we're a year removed from it, everybody can be reasonable at this point. And so this is probably what everybody is worth, and especially for the Raptors, if you're not going to tear everything down, you got some good players back. That's why I think I'm a little bit higher on this trade than you guys are just for that reason.
No, I'm high on it too. I agree. It's the best you can do. It's a realistic value for, like I said, he's expiring. So this is a rental for the Pacers. But there's been reports that they're very confident they can sign him and extend him this summer. So that makes it make more sense. But for most teams in the league that don't have that confidence, it would be a heavy rental for half a season. Mm-hmm. Given that context, I like it too. This is a lot for that circumstance that we're in.
Yeah, that is true. And if any team was to give up all these first round picks, this is the NBA draft to do so. We're in January right now, and I've seen 5 potential number 1 overall picks. Nobody has no idea what this draft is really capable of. And with that being said, these picks in my mind are just from the Indiana Pacers standpoint, they are throwaways.
Yeah, it's the Pacers pick this year, the Nuggets pick this year, and a Pacers pick from 2026. So that 2026 pick is the best one. You have to imagine they're still going to be a good team. Tyrese Halliburton's young, so it's not going to be a great pick, but it's a lottery ticket. You never know what could happen that year. I think, the Raptors did Raptors things, right? They finally traded it, blew everybody up, got the retooled beginning. I think it's far more interesting to talk about the Pacers because we talked about Pascal Siakam trades for a while, and I think the Pacers are one of the teams we talked about for a long time. They were I need to see this happen. I need to see Tyrese Halliburton have a legit running mate co-star. And they did it. They got the guy, I think me and Mo both said for months that we want this specific trade to happen. They decided to commit to Tyrese and get him a co-star. It's exactly what you wanted to see.
Yeah. And for a team like Indiana, this is much needed. And this is the only way that they are able to get stars on that roster. Historically, Indiana, I believe they're one of the lone teams in the NBA that's never gotten a first round pick or number 1 overall draft pick ever. And on top of that, they're cursed with being in the state of Indiana, sadly. And so no one ever will go there. You don't sign free agents. The last big time free agent that they signed at the time was David West. And he was a good player, but we all know David West is no game changer, not game changer, but he's no all-time player at all. So for them doing this shows me that they are looking to be a serious organization who have serious hopes and aspirations to eventually contend for a title. And this is just a step in the right direction.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I really like this trade. I'm happy that they did it. I think for this year in particular, it says something about how they feel about this team, this core, this version of Tyrese, because with Tyrese being hurt, there is a massive opportunity for the Pacers to have slipped. And they haven't necessarily done that. They've maintained they're still in that race to even get up to the 3 seed. You put Pascal on this team And Isaac has talked about this for a while. Pascal is one of those guys where the situation has been so bad in Toronto. Like, he's probably going to come out in Indiana and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe that.
Exactly.
That he's here, you know? Like, he's going to look 100% rejuvenated in an organization and on a team that doesn't hate his guts. And we saw this massively with Russell Westbrook, where he just literally changed locker rooms. It's a big difference when the people in your locker room don't hate you. And when you feel good showing up to work every day. And, so for Pascal, this is going to be like a massive, massive thing.
I think he might be the most underrated player in the league right now. He's up there. Like, I tweeted when this happened that they did this trade and the Pacers got a top 30-ish guy. And a couple people in the replies were like, 30 is real generous. What are you talking about? And I was like, no, you guys don't understand. His team made the concerted effort this year to deprioritize him, to prioritize Scottie Barnes. Because they knew long-term, Scottie Barnes is our guy. And as far as last offseason, there was rumors and rumblings that they're going to trade him. And there's reports that Pascal Siakam found out about that and was very disheartened to hear that. You know, he has a lot of history with this team, is one of the best NBA development stories of all time with that organization. So the fact that, like Donovan said, deprioritize the team, you're clearly not the guy of the future. There's that one side of it, the personnel side, that he's going to go to a place that he feels wanted. That empowers him. But even outside of that, he's playing with the guy in Tyrese Halliburton, the perfect pick and roll partner you could want for Siakam as a big man. Siakam also runs a lot of pick and rolls with the ball in his hands. Miles Turner, pick and pop big, pick and roll big, another perfect guy to put next to him. He's going to have all the space in the world to attack the rim, do his high post game, attack mismatches, play off of Tyrese, play with the ball in his hands as a primary creator whenever Tyrese is on the bench. Like, for every way you can think about, in this type of offensive environment, he's going to thrive so much more than he did playing with the Raptors on a team that had 4 players just like him, that all try to do the same things, stand in the same places. It's just going from the worst place possible for your production to probably the best place.
Yeah, the Raptors had a bunch of Pascal Siakams in training, guys like Precious Achiuwa and Chris Boucher and shit like that. Just like maybe one day, if you're good enough, you can be like the guy that we already have right there.
Literally, I never thought about that. They tried to make 4 of him. That's crazy.
Yeah,
they developed one long, rangy, unskilled big man to being incredible with the ball in his hands, and we're like, I'm gonna give you one more. And none of them panned out.
Facts.
He got 2 more for you.
That was a literal representation.
I'm so glad he's freed. Now, it is funny that Obi Toppin went from being in jail behind Julius Randle to now being in jail behind Pascal Siakam. Like,
yeah,
him
man,
and Jarris Walker are pissed.
He has to go overseas. Man. Because you're not getting run. You're not getting run in the NBA. Maybe you could go to like Sacramento. They run up and down really fast. You just need to go to teams who have track meets at this point. Because he just hasn't had time, hasn't had the space to properly develop his game. And I feel bad for him. So like, Obi, hang in there. Hang in there, my guy.
To be fair, he was gifted the starting spot coming into the season and didn't do jack shit with it. So like he hasn't had a particularly great season. So he had the chance to earn the job and just didn't. So I'm not going to be like too boohoo for him because, you know, play better.
Yeah, I mean, we witnessed,
play some defense.
Yeah.
No, man, you're hating.
We witnessed peak Obi Toppin, and he gave us like 11, 12 points a game, which is like what I roughly projected for him. But the defense is like a huge issue. And what I'm even like more excited about, of course, like Siakam immediately adds defense, and that like helps like guys like Miles Turner, who's I would say his reputation hasn't met up to expectation at all. But that's because a whole lot of things, schematics and all that other stuff with the Indiana Pacers. But one of the biggest things where I'm like, wow, this is going to help them stay in games a lot longer is what you said earlier, Isaac. When Tyrese Halliburton goes to the bench, they're usually always dead in water. They always lose those minutes, even though they have like one of the better backup guards in the NBA, Andrew Nembhard. Yeah, there's only so much that limited guard can do on the offensive end, and it's having someone like Pascal Siakam who can create in just about every way imaginable on the basketball court, whether it be operating the pick and roll, being the roll man, starting transition, fast breaks, and all that. Like, he can literally do it all, and so having him will be the biggest. They'll see the biggest like uptick whenever Tyrese is on the bench.
Yeah, and even like they're already like they still have the number 1 offense in the league right now, and they're like obviously one of the greatest offenses of all time by offensive rating, which take with a grain of salt. But I think like the best part about it offensively is like think back to the in-season tournament game. The Lakers did a great job shutting down Tyrese Halliburton. And the reason that was able to be so successful is because all the guys around him don't have that release valve creation ability. Whenever you're doubling Tyrese and forcing him to pass the ball up, you need somebody else that can really create and like punish you for doing that. And there's, that Pascal Siakam is perfect for that. That's his exact skill set on the short roll, being able to like be the screen setter and make something happen when he's attacking 3-on-4. It gives them versatility. Like they didn't need offensive help in terms of like, their standing in the offensive rating category. But if you're projecting to a playoff setting, Benedict Mathurin hasn't developed yet. He's still young. Jarris Walker, you'll see what you get from him. He's still young. You look at guys like Buddy Hield, Neesmith, and Nembhard. Like those aren't those type of like on-ball creator guys that you can really hope for in a playoff setting. Siakam fills that hole immediately.
And to the crayon eaters, all that means is that Siakam got a bag and you play a little bit of defense. That's it. He got a bag.
he can shimmy a little bit.
Yeah.
But also defensively, like they're 30th in shots given up at the rim. None of the guards do shit on ball. You set a screen, the guards just die, and they just sprint to the rim and just straight at Miles Turner's face. And Miles Turner's done a decent job with that, disadvantage he's already at. They're 13th in percentage given up at the rim, so like he defends it decently, but they have nobody that can stop you from getting there. And Siakam is he's not a lockdown defender. He's not like Aaron Gordon at the 4 or anything like that, but he's a pretty good team defender, I think. He knows how to use his size. He's mobile. Like I think he'll help there a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a legitimate playoff team now. And this is a team where before you looked at them and regardless of what the offensive rating said, you're just not going to win a playoff series. That style of basketball just doesn't translate. It's cool that you guys are winning games and understanding how to be a competent franchise, but now let's actually take the next step, right? With all these other teams, whether it's Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, Miami, all these other teams that have good infrastructures, let's have a duo that we could build around. And if you still want to trade Buddy Hield, right? If you still want to trade Miles Turner, you have legitimately 2 core pieces that you can start shaping the future of this team around. And so I'm with you. Like I think that they 100% know or have a very, very confident position that they can re-sign Pascal and that he's going to be there next year. So one of those guys in terms of Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, one of them has to be gone. I refuse to believe that going into next year, they are still going to be on the team. Something has to get done. And now that Masai Ujiri has traded Pascal Siakam, anything's possible. I would think anything's possible.
I think if anything, it makes... I'm sure they love Jarris Walker. They drafted him for a reason. I think it makes him a little expendable. Now that you have your 4 of ideally the future, Pascal Siakam's 29. He has 4 or 5 good years left in him for sure before he really starts to fall off probably. Like he's not a super athletically dependent player. He'll probably be good when he's 33, 34. Jarris Walker becomes a guy that if you can have that great backup off the bench, cool. That's an awesome position to be in. But also if you want to upgrade Buddy Hield and get a better defender there to make you really lethal, you have more, options at your disposal where he's not quite so untouchable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess so. Question is, they're currently the 7th seed, 1 game behind the Knicks and the Heat, who are the 5 and 6 seed tied. Half a game actually behind them. So they're still firmly in the mix for a top 5 seed. Where do you think they're going? No, I mean, not even ask that because I don't want to know where you think they're going to finish standing wise because Tyrese is hurt. That's a whole nother can of worms. In terms of power rankings and who you respect in these, where do they fall?
I have a better way to frame that. I would say in terms of ceiling.
Yeah.
In terms of
ceiling wise, right? Projecting.
I would say they have the ceiling to be the 3rd or 4th best team in the Eastern Conference, and that's a lot to say considering Joel Embiid exists. But 4th is I'm very comfortable with 4th, to be honest with you.
The Cavaliers have been cooking lately, so that's. But I agree. I can see the Pacers being as good as the Cavs. 4 seed is very much within reach. Yeah. That's probably where I put them too, honestly. The Cavs have been cooking because Donovan Mitchell is incredibly empowered right now with Garland and Mobley out. He's just playing Donovan Mitchell ball, eating. I don't know if that's going to be maintained when the guys come back.
It won't.
Yeah. So they're in a weird position right now that they're not going to do anything about. Maybe this summer they will. I think when everybody's healthy, fully clicking, I can see the Pacers being pretty comfortably better.
Man, that's so tough.
I'll put them at 5. I think that, or tie for 5th. I think that they can be just as good as the Heat. But I think the teams that I would trust above them would be the Celtics, the Bucks, the Sixers, and the Knicks. And then
I knew you were going to go there.
Of course, the
Got the
Knicks.
shirt on?
Look at your shirt.
I get it.
I mean, come
I get it.
on,
I get it.
Nah,
No,
but
I get it. I get it.
Legitimately.
No, that's fair. I get it. It's honestly a very comparable team. The 1 and 4 being the 2 star players, and then you have like OG as a third piece there versus Miles Turner as a defensive piece there. They're actually pretty similar teams. I don't know which way I lean there, but I see it. That's a very good conversation.
Don't let us get Mitch back. That's really the big
True.
part is that if the Knicks can get a healthy Mitchell Robinson back, the entire defense changes. The entire offensive rebounding, getting extra possessions, that changes. So I think that's going to be the difference maker. Mitch isn't going to come back until late in the season if he comes back at all. So right now it's probably a 3-way tie between the Knicks, Miami, and Indiana.
Yeah, if we view the Celtics, Bucks, and Sixers as like the upper tier, that next 4 teams out there are very much within they're in kind of like an arms race for second tier in the East.
Yeah, exactly. They just made the East so much more competitive and so much more fun to watch. And honestly, it would not surprise you if a team like the Indiana Pacers were able to sneak into the Eastern Conference Finals some way, somehow.
Surprised me a little bit, but yeah, they definitely have a puncher chance for sure now. They have the firepower. That it's just interesting to think you look at their lineup now. Nesmith is a good defender. I wouldn't call him your wing stopper. Ideally, he shouldn't be your number 1 wing defender, but he's good in your starting lineup.
He's been great.
Siakam's Siakam's a good defender. I mean, nobody's been great. They're the fucking 30th defense in the league, but for what he has to do, he's been solid. Siakam's a good defender. Miles Turner should be a good defender. Right now, he's been up and down. Granted, he's in a bad situation to have him defend everybody. He's not Gobert. That's 3 out of 5 of your starters are good defenders. But do you really trust their defense to hold up in the playoffs, even with Siakam?
That's tough.
No.
Yeah.
And it really depends on their offense. I don't think that they can continue to be at both ends of the spectrum. And if they decide to continue to lean into this very, very up-tempo, this very wide open style of offense, I think that that's just going to lead them on this path of staying, one of the worst defenses in the league. I don't think that they get up to a middling defense, maybe even 17th or 16th. I don't think that's in the cards for them this year, even though that, like you just said, a majority of the starting lineup is good at defense.
Yeah, they're basically just the Kings now. You think about it. De'Aaron and Sabonis is very similar to Tyrese and Siakam. Difference is having a Miles Turner there. There's a possibility of building a solid defense there with a good rim defense with Siakam and Turner together.
Yeah.
And the Kings don't really have that possibility with Sabonis being the anchor. So maybe that makes me believe in their, not this year version of them, but a next year version of them. If they can get another strong defender on the wing, I can see a world where this team contends.
Yeah, I would say it's so much you're right. I agree with you 100%. It's so much easier to build off of the infrastructure that they've newly built, and I can't imagine them finding a hard time or having a hard time trying to find a Buddy Hield replacement who can be a complete black hole at times, or if Aaron Nesmith, who's been underrated defensively, who's been busting his ass defensively, having another.
He's been trying hard. They're throwing him every tough assignment in the league. He's trying his ass off.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he's kind of resurrected his NBA career. And I don't find it hard for them to take that next leap as a serious contender one day. But the question, the original question was right now, what's the ceiling? And I think that that 4 or 5, whatever range is their ceiling right now this season, because I just don't imagine them all of a sudden just switching their basically entire defensive identity in the middle of the year while we're 39, 40 games in. That's so rare to see. We barely see that.
Yeah, I mean, Siakam's not that kind of defender, right? He's not like Jonathan Isaac defensively. He's not going to come out here and just swat everything and completely save your rim defense. It's not him, but he'll help a little bit. And I noticed you mentioned it's not going to be hard for them to find their future Buddy Hield replacement. Ideally, he's already on the roster. It should be Benedict Mathurin eventually, if he can develop into that type of player and hold his own defensively and, bring along the 3-point shooting, bring along everything you need to play next to Tyrese in the starting lineup. But that's a question for next year, the year after that. It's not going to be happening this season.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. But overall,
shout out to Indiana, though, man. They made the move, and This is huge. I just think that they set up Tyrese so perfectly. I'm glad they did it early rather than later when it's like a year away from Tyrese maybe requesting a trade or getting into like a weird situation. They were very proactive on this, and I appreciate that from them.
And that's their MO as an organization, right? Like they're always going to do what they can to make the best team possible. Mm-hmm. They are like the poster child for refusing to tank, refusing to go into rebuild. They're going to be a competitive team and use every asset at their disposal. It honestly is like makes it very interesting to see how teams can rebuild from the middle without tanking. Because this team never tanked a single season, and now they have Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam. Like there's always an avenue to improve and make something out of nothing. And like it makes you look at teams like the Charlotte Hornets who haven't done shit for LaMelo Ball, or the Hawks tried. They made a move. They had a young core, it just didn't work out. But like all these organizations that don't make the move and just like try to be patient, like it makes you look at them like, maybe you should make some shit happen.
Exactly.
What's a good old saying? Scared money don't make money. God damn. Facts. The Indiana Pacers went ahead and rolled that dice, and they made that shit happen.
And it's hilarious that Masai Ujiri is on the other end of that, who is the definition of scared money over the last few years.
He's scared money. He's the definition of that.
Which is funny because before that, he wasn't. He traded for Kawhi. I guess never mind. I mean, I didn't even say that because the Kawhi trade is the opposite. That's the scared money don't make money like blueprint. But then after that, he went the other way.
It seems like he's like a one-sided GM to me. Like there's like GMs who are great at knowing how to like construct a championship team. But when it comes to like learning how to develop a team from ground up, a lot of them don't know how to build that like strong base, root, or infrastructure whatsoever.
Yeah, man, you win some, you lose some.
Tragic.
I think we can. We're gonna grade the trade, but we're gonna save it because the episode after the trade deadline, we're gonna grade all the trades that happened. So we'll save our official grades for that episode.
Okay.
I think now we can move on to the title of this episode. We're each gonna talk about the rest of the trade deadline that's coming up and talk about the players that we want to see moved, where we want to see them move to, and just in general, kind of predict / say what we want to happen during the trade deadline.
Let's go.
Woohoo! Let's do it. Who wants to go?
Who wants to go first? We all wrote we all wrote down 5 trades we want to see happen. I figured through those trades we'll kind of canvas the entire league. I guess I'll go first. Let's start with the guy who I think is the biggest lock to be traded amongst relevant players, Dejounte Murray. That motherfucker is out of there. The Hawks are, I would say, in turmoil. They lost back-to-back games and atrocious losses to the Pacers and the Wizards. They've since won 2. Doesn't move me. One of them was against the Spurs. One of them was a game winner against the Magic without Franz. They're so down horrendous. They're going to blow this team up. We'll see what that entails. But at least it's going to include Dejounte Murray going to another team. And I think we can write the shit in history already. He is going to be a Los Angeles Laker.
You're that confident.
And I think he is a Laker already. We're just waiting for them to call that shit in. I think the writing is on the wall. There's so much smoke. There has to be fire. The clutch connection, the fact that the Lakers have been reported for wanting a point guard upgrade. This man's a Laker. And I think right now they're just waiting to see if they can get Austin Reeves.
How do you feel about this? Because I think if we would have asked you this 3 weeks ago, you would have been like, keep that man away from my franchise. And now I feel like you kind of talked yourself into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys definitely misconstrue. I actually hated that. I was like, oh, what an ugly shot. Fucking went in. But I think you guys misconstrue my DeJounte Murray feelings as hatred for him, as but really it's hatred for him on the Hawks. I think it was fucking dumb as hell to pair him with Trae Young. But I don't think he's a player without value. He's not, especially what he's being paid. He's on a very, very, very team-friendly contract. So I wouldn't want the Lakers to move for him. Go for him. I wasn't coming into the season, I wasn't DeJounte Murray needs to be the trade target. But if it's gonna happen, I see the vision, especially if they keep Austin Reeves. So my first trade that I want to see happen, knowing it's gonna happen for him probably, is D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, and a first-round pick for DeJounte Murray. If that's what it is, I'm very okay with it.
You want to give me Rui, D'Lo, and Austin Reeves?
Yeah, go to hell. D'Lo would obviously be routed to another team, and you guys would probably maybe you get another first for him in a 3-team deal. So maybe it could be 2 firsts and Rui. Which at this point it seems like the entire league is just lowballing the Hawks and trying to convince them to trade DeJounte for nothing.
You're getting blocked.
Who knows if they can get anything better? Okay, yeah. So Nikhil pulled up a trade that this is definitely you getting blocked. This guy said Brogdon and DeJounte for D'Angelo Russell, Rui, Gabe Vincent, and a first-round pick.
Oh.
Now you're getting blocked. You're trying to sneak Brogdon in there. You'd have to include Reeves if you wanted him to.
No, you're not only getting blocked. I'm pulling up to your house and I'm slashing all your tires. You're not getting to work the next morning, bro. How dare you?
Yeah. But I don't know. Do you think you could get 2 first-round picks with Dejounte right now? Do you think that's in the cards?
I think I can, but not from a team that's pick poor. Like they have no assets
That's true.
as of now,
That's true.
or abundance of assets at least.
The
So
Lakers
I
only
think
trade
the Lakers
one.
are the wrong. Yeah, the Lakers are the wrong team to talk to right now, in my opinion.
But how many teams want him? Like, what team out there wants him and will give you 2 first-round picks for Dejounte?
I think it has to be a team that is young and a team that's trying to find themselves and solidify that final piece.
Who is it?
who
Do you
that
have
sounds
an idea?
Yeah, and that team is the Orlando Magic, the team that he literally just gamed on the other night. So
Is that your trade?
here's my trade proposition, y'all. All right, Isaac Donovan, Crayon Eaters,
I'm ready.
please be the judge of it. Pew pew! Breaking news: Adrian Wojnarowski announces the Atlanta Hawks have traded Dejounte Murray to the Orlando Magic for Jonathan Isaac, and Markelle Fultz, and also a first-round pick, maybe 2. I'm asking for 2.
You'd rather have John Isaac and Fultz rather than Rui in a first? I'd rather have Rui than Fultz, I think.
Jonathan Isaac is more important to what this roster needs than someone like Rui, in my opinion. But if they can give us 2 first-round picks, I'm fucking sold. That's what I want, honestly.
Do the Magic want that bad enough to give up 2 first-round picks? They have 2 big creators, in Paolo and Franz, who are like the on-ball guys for them, have a lot of size. That means they're not the best. I mean, they're good shooters, but they're not big floor spacers. They need spacing next to them.
2 things.
Does Dejounte Murray scream that to you?
2 things.
I mean,
one, you didn't even have to pause yourself. So that's
okay. I
that's one.
just
2,
had to throw it out there just in case.
you didn't have to.
I threw too many bigs. My bad.
2, I don't think Orlando would do this.
Me neither.
I think Orlando is good enough with the guards that they have, and they have so much of a youth movement going with their guards that if you're going to accelerate your timeline, trade future first round picks, and again, Dejounte's not bad, but I would expect it to be for a player a little bit better than Dejounte Murray. For 2 first round picks for him seems like a lot.
Well,
Yeah,
sadly,
I mean, even not just a better fit. Like, I think they need a true spacer if they're going to be doing that. Like, it has to be a legit shooter.
Yeah.
I know he can shoot a little bit, but he's not like
is
not
38% on 6 attempts per game just nothing nowadays? What are we talking about over here? I understand.
Yeah, well,
what
context
you're saying,
matters. It's
but
not all 38% are built the same.
yeah, that's true, and I can agree with that. But in terms of what they have right now, which is Markelle Fultz, who's 15%, it fucking works.
I love this because I know that as soon as Dejounte Murray is traded, Mo's gonna be like, man, this guy can't even shoot. Go do something.
No.
He's hyping him up. He's trying to raise his trade profile right now. It just doesn't you already have two forwards who have been kind of hindered by a lack of spacing. Right, Jalen Suggs is over there, and the question with him has always been his shooting. They need knockdown, right? They need somebody who can come in and sniper. I'm knocking in everything, and Dejounte Murray just isn't that. And also for two forwards that they have who do handle the ball, you want the ball in their hands, and bringing Dejounte in there is kind of the same issue that you had in Atlanta, where you have a star that is ball dominant and you bring in another ball dominant guard. There's not another reason to do that when you have 2 creators the way that they have with Paolo and Franz.
Well,
Yeah,
I
Paolo's
guess
like a
this
point forward at
trade's
this point.
Trash. Sorry, Hawks.
Yeah,
fans.
fuck
I was
off.
looking out for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. This was not working. But
Donovan, do you have a Dejounte destination in mind?
I actually don't. I think I like the Lakers one. I've talked myself into it. I think that Dejounte is just so weird and he's not bad, obviously, and he's a very good player. I'm struggling figuring out where he fits the best and where his, where his skill set can be optimized. And at this point, I'm like, just send him to the Lakers. Just do it, and it'll be okay. They need a point guard. That's probably the upgrade that they need. Gabe Vincent hasn't played at all. That's been a bust. Send him away. Everybody has known since the moment they re-signed D'Lo and Rui that those are 2 trade contracts. Just get it over with. That's going to be their big move, and it's fine. So,
now that I think about it, Dejounte on a team like the Utah Jazz wouldn't be bad at all. They actually, I don't want to say need a guard at all, because props to guys like Jordan Clarkson, Colin Sexton, and Chris Dunn, who's like he's a terror on the defensive end. Shout out to all of them. They don't need it, but obviously Dejounte Murray is someone who you trust long term, and that could be an option off the top of my head. Now with the Utah Jazz and Danny Ainge be in the market, I don't think so. I think he probably just wants to sit and wait, sit on his hands and just see what this team does and let things run its course. But that's another team that's like
Dejounte Murray,
in that stage.
Dejounte Murray on the Jazz feels like year 5 of a 2K franchise, like where everybody's just traded. It would be so weird seeing him there. I don't. Yeah. It's just like, all right, that's random. Him and John Collins back in Utah. It's like, what are we doing here?
That's very random. Yeah, I mean, they've been so good lately. They're, like you said, they're probably just like going to ride it out, see what happens. They're doing the Pacers thing of building from the middle and trying to see what they can do over time. So I don't see them being in the market, but I wouldn't hate the fit. I think that's not bad.
It would be great, him alongside Larry Markkinen. That's the only thing that I'm thinking about. But
yeah, but it's just, there's rumors like the Spurs were attached to potentially trying to get DeJounte back, but I don't think that's going anywhere. Like the Sixers have been attached to everybody because they got a lot of moves to make. I don't really want to see him in the Sixers, but I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't love it either.
Gotcha. Well, Donovan, since you didn't have a DeJounte Murray trade for us, you got another trade for us?
Yeah, who's the next player we're going to talk about?
I do. I want to see Andrew Wiggins gone from Golden State. I think the experiment has run its course. I think Andrew Wiggins is back to not understanding how to play high-level basketball again. And for the Warriors, they need that piece. They need another wing scorer. They need somebody who can step into that Andrew Wiggins role. And I think that the perfect player to do that would be Kyle Kuzma. I think that.
Oh, okay.
I think that if you ship Wiggs and a first, right, maybe whatever else to get it done, but that is the core of the deal, Wiggs and a first. You go get Kuzma and you get a younger Andrew Wiggins, and you kind of go in that direction.
Very different players, but I see your point, like having another big wing that can come in. Yeah. I think it would take 2 firsts to get Kuzma.
And that's fine.
Do the Warriors have 2 tradable firsts? I don't even remember, honestly.
Let me double check on their.
Yeah, let's see what the tradable picks are. Wow. I love the idea of that though. Maybe if they don't have 2 tradable firsts, I can't remember right now. I don't know why. Maybe you part with a Moses Moody, or maybe you part with a Kuminga, something like. I think it would take that extra sweetener.
Is he worth that to you, Isaac?
Is he worth 2 first-round picks? Absolutely. Is he worth 1 first and Moody? Probably. I think Kuz is extremely good. And also, the problem with this whole idea is, or not necessarily a problem, it doesn't kill it. But I think right now Andrew Wiggins is probably viewed as an extremely negative contract.
Yeah.
Like, he's horrible right now. He can barely play. Like, he's fucking ass. Like, he's not even reverting back to, like, pre-trade. He's, like, down horrendous.
He's worse than Minnesota Wiggins right now. He can't even get buckets.
Bro, he's one of the worst players in the NBA right now. If you look at their net ratings, all their lineups that include Andrew Wiggins are, like, minus 1,000. And their lineups when he's off the court have all been positive. Like, he's legitimately holding them back extremely right now. And again, it's hard to talk about it because there's so many reasons that might be at play with him that you don't want to bash him too much. Who knows what the reason for it? But he's fallen off a fucking cliff. And he has a lot of money being paid to him for a lot of years left on his contract. Why would any team want that on their books, Yeah. So maybe maybe you have to attach an asset. So maybe they have to pay even more.
And that is okay. And I think that for the Warriors, both Kuminga and Moody should 100% be on the block to make any trade, because as we've seen, Steve Kerr is he's not like, when the time comes to play Moody or to play Kuminga, he's not going to do it. And they've run their course in terms of this development for those 2 guys specifically. The young rookie Pods and TJD, they're good, right? And we understand that they fit into what they're doing. Steve Kerr likes them. What?
No, you froze for us for a second. Keep going.
Yeah. Oh, okay. My bad. Anyways, Steve likes them. He doesn't like Moody or Kuminga. one of them is expendable. You can attach them to this deal, but I like Kuzma in that in the Warriors system right now.
Yeah, I think it would probably be. I think because Andrew Wiggins is such a negative contract, this trade is probably more likely to be Chris Paul, a first round pick, and like a Moody. That
Chris
way,
Paul back to the goddamn Wizards. That's so
he'd
sad.
get bought out. He'd get bought out overnight, and he'd sign with the Lakers the next morning probably. So that's not important. But
That's so
I
funny,
think
though.
Kuzma's worth 2 first round picks. They probably value him that way. Andrew Wiggins is negative first round. Andrew Wiggins is negative 1 first round pick. So that's like you need 3 picks to get Kuzma for Wiggins, and the Warriors aren't doing all that. So I could see Chris Paul, his expiring contract, being the salary there instead of Wiggins.
God,
Dude, that's a heavy.
this
task.
is this is the contract. This
He has
is
3 years left, bro. 26 mil, 28 mil, then a player option for 30 mil, which I can guarantee you 31-year-old Andrew Wiggins will not be turning down.
Yeah, he getting that money.
And if he's going to be the worst player in the league for 3 more years, oh my God.
Him,
That's
listen, him and Jordan Poole reunited. Listen, maybe he just needs his friend, right? Maybe that's it. Maybe he just needs a happy face around him, and they can be the Brunch Brothers in DC instead of
Brunch
Kuzma
Bros.
and Poole.
I do love the idea of Kuzma. My only worry is Kuzma's really good. I like him a lot. We've seen a lot of young players come and go through that Warrior system, and it's kind of like a flip of a coin if they're going to be able to play in that read and react system, playing all these off-screen movements through Steph Curry. Is Kuzma equipped to do that? I have no fucking clue. I think you kind of have to like see them do it before you can imagine it, because like Kelly Oubre is a great player. He's playing really good for the Sixers. He was horrific in that system. I have no clue which way Kuzma's going to go on that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's Kelly Oubre though. Like, and I guess Oubre's cool, right? He's a nice guy, but like, the young guys.
Nice guy.
The young guys that have come through the Warrior system, I feel like Kuzma, especially because of his stint with the Lakers, like he has actual experience, and this is
Championship pedigree.
I mean, listen, it's true, right? It's true, and it's the same thing that we saw with Wiggins, where it's completely different if you are the second option on your team rather than if you are the third, right? Or the
Sure,
the
for sure.
fourth. Yeah.
It's just
So-
awkward because it's just hard because the Warriors play a very specific system that requires you to be like, you low-key got to be like a fucking basketball genius to thrive in the Warriors system. Like, it's so cerebral having to make all these reads all the time off these screens that Steph's running around like a maniac. And there's so many cuts, and like you have to really be fucking smart. And not to say Kuzma's not, but you know, like you got to really be able to read the game to succeed in that system. And it's just who knows until you see him do it. Like I said,
Yeah, exactly.
Let's run
But
it though.
I'd take that risk. I like
if
that.
there was a player who was able to fit in the Warrior system, I would like to cash in my chips and say Kyle Kuzma would be that type of player because of the Lakers' experience and him being so off ball and adapting to that pretty well with the Lakers. I'll put my cash aside and be like, yeah, I want this guy.
How do you guys feel? You know, there's a report the other day that the Warriors, I don't know, you can pull it up, Nikhil, are looking for a skilled 7-footer that can score the ball. That was
Wow.
the report.
Every other team in the league.
Every fucking buddy wants that, right?
Nice.
The Bulls have one that they don't want. Nikola Vucevic. That has been a Warriors linked thing for a while for various reasons. People kind of just like put it together like that would make sense. It seems like the price is extremely low. It's like, fucking please take him is the price. Like, I'll give him to you. Would you trade a Chris Paul contract plus a second round pick for Vucevic? You have a Draymond Green to cover up defensively for him. He doesn't have to close games at all. You still have Kevon Looney. Does that, they need the offensive punch. They need a new look. That's a new look they've never had. A 7-footer that can shoot like that. Does he move you at all?
Sure. I mean, they have absolutely nothing to lose. I mean, Chris Paul is
Sure.
Yeah, like why not? Like this
I
is a
want
good
to say,
idea.
wait. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Sure.
not bad, but I don't expect this to elevate them from like the purgatory area that they're in right now. But why not? Sure, man. As long as you be you be happy, bro. As long as you're happy,
Yeah.
those are the vibes I'm going with right here.
Yeah, I don't know what it would take to get Vucevic. I don't know if they value him as like needing picks. Like, and nobody around the league really wants him. There's no real good fits for him. If you're gonna find a good fit for him, it's next to Draymond Green. Like that's the one place you could imagine somebody having a player that can cover Vucevic's weaknesses. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I agree. Whoever made this graphic right here, Wemby next to Steph and Clay, that would kill my basketball spirit. The 16, I would probably like. I wouldn't be on this planet right now, bro. Seeing Webby on the fucking
What a way to
would
say
be
that
crazy.
softly without getting us hit for terms of service.
I know, right?
Good job.
They got rid of KD just to get this guy. Oh my god! But
I'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, it would be.
Or what's your next player we should talk about, Mo? Who's your trade?
So, I have another trade proposal. You guys let me know if they're trash or what. The Philadelphia 76ers are hitting up the Portland Trail Blazers for Jerami Grant and Malcolm Brogdon. And in return, the Blazers get Tobias Harris, Marcus Smart, who just got the goddamn keys to the city. Tragic. But along with that, they get a pick, maybe 2 picks. Probably 2 first-round picks.
Did you say Marcus Smart?
Marcus Morris, my bad.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay, so
it's a lot to digest.
Say it again. Say it again real quick.
Jerami Grant, Malcolm Brogdon to the Portland Trail Blazers for Tobias Harris and Marcus Morris and 2 picks.
Yeah, don't ever call my phone again.
Yeah, get the fuck out of my face. Why would this
what are you talking about? This is the kind of trade
both teams say no.
This is the kind of trade that a good fantasy football team like gives a bad fantasy football team like towards week 10, where they're like, listen, your team sucks. Just give me your 2 best players and we can keep it moving. I don't see why the Blazers would do this.
2 first-round picks. That's why.
But from the Sixers, and those picks aren't going to be. They're not projected to be.
Well,
I don't see why this. Why would this? I don't know why the Sixers would do that either. I don't know why their all-in move would be to get Tobias Harris out of there and get a slightly better Tobias Harris. Like Jerami Grant's not moving me like that. That I would get rid of my assets I got for James Harden and get an expensive ass Tobias Harris at that. This man is paid. It's like $100 million over 4 years. Like this man is a big contract.
Yeah, he's
and they can have max contract space this summer. I wouldn't sacrifice that and get rid of my assets for Jerami Grant.
Now, did you guys forget about Malcolm Brogdon? He's not. Do you not see the
Malcolm Brogdon doesn't move me for Philly?
I don't give a shit.
He does not move me. I don't care.
So this is an all-in. When I was putting this trade together, this is an all-in move. Obviously, they're like, "Yo, you have cap space during this offseason, but who the fuck are you going to use that cap space for? You have DeMar DeRozan, Pascal Siakam. This offseason is really a wash. You'd be looking at the offseason after that, and at that point in time, you're putting all your bets on Joel Embiid still being healthy by the time he's like 31, 32 years old. And I don't know if that's a great thing to do, but it wouldn't be a bad thing either, of course. But you'd be pretty much like saying this is the team that will help propel us towards the top. Jerami Grant's averaging 21 this season, shooting 40% from the 3-point line, and Malcolm Brogdon has been
good for him.
Malcolm Brogdon has been
good for him.
A great backup point guard, starting some nights with the Portland Trail Blazers, who's sought after by a couple teams so far in the trade rumor era that we're in right now.
Okay, man. Tobias Harris has been good. I don't think Tobias Harris is meaningfully better enough that I would like. That's not an all-in move to me. I think it's a slightly better move.
Do you not value the defense that Jerami Grant could provide and also the creation and shooting?
No, I think it's not that much better than Tobias Harris.
Not really.
Who?
No, Jerami Grant love?
You're talking about him like he's Pascal Siakam. Like I don't think Jerami Grant's that great.
I mean, he's not Pascal Siakam, obviously.
He makes a lot of money, bro. He's paid like Pascal Siakam.
Exactly. And that's the point. He's not Pascal Siakam. He's like in the same tier as Tobias Harris. So there's no reason to shake up your team.
He's better, but like not meaningfully enough to get rid of their flexibility for him, I don't think.
Yeah, I would rather run it back. Obviously, Nick Nurse has this team playing the best that it's looked in years, right? And the fact that Joel Embiid has been unlocked to go to a new level, Maxi's taking another step, I would happily continue playing with this duo, with this kind of core, and have flexibility. And next year, we see what's going to happen. This duo is only going to get better together. Like as I said, there's no reason to blow it up. But I do like where your mind is at for Portland, getting Jerami Grant out of there, getting Malcolm Brogdon, because those are actually, I have 2 trades for both of them. And so if we can use this to pivot.
Let's go.
My trade for Malcolm Brogdon, send him to the New York Knicks for Evan Fournier, a first-round pick, and then you can either pick between another pick or Quentin Grimes.
I wrote down Fournier and a first for him as well. I don't think you need to attach a second pick. I think that's enough.
And that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's why I think the Knicks, obviously trading away Emmanuel quickly, the bench depth has suffered. You need a backup point guard. Brogdon is right there. He's right there on
I
a
agree.
team that's already filled with guards. They don't need him like that. Send him to the Knicks. We can get off the contract, give him the asset, and it works out for everybody.
Fantastic trade. I'm 100% with you. He needs to be a New York Knick. It makes all the sense in the world for both parties. Where do you see Jeremy Grant going? Because I don't know who wants 4 years of Jeremy Grant.
I think the only team that, maybe not the only team, but one of the teams that makes sense for me is the Dallas Mavericks. I think.
Okay.
Right,
I like that.
I think I like that too.
The way that the money worked, you can get it for Grant Williams and Maxi Kleber. I think that having that scoring in the front court, you obviously have Luka and Kyrie there. If you can make an upgrade there in the front court and add somebody who can also create, and you still have Derek Lively, somehow Dwight Powell survives again, but you just keep rocking with him. I think that gives them another punch offensively that would be, very useful. And the shooting is going to be there, right? The shooting is going to be there, and it's comparable.
I think I like that. Only question. So would it take 2 first-round picks?
Yeah, it would. You need picks on top of that. But for Dallas, it's okay. I think I don't think that you are as available to go out and sign free agents like that or make another big move. I think this is probably the biggest that it's going to get. So
I like that.
And if
I
they
think
do
offensively,
move like this,
it's a great fit.
yeah, and if they do a move like this, it would have to be either this offseason, definitely this offseason, because that's when another pick is available for them, and that's when they can, have more free will to do whatever it is and add in whatever assets to make.
Yeah, well, they can give up 1 first-round pick and then throw in, like this tweet says that Nikhil was pull up, either Green or Jaden Hardy, if they view that as like equivalent of another first-round pick. I like that. The only problem is I think I like that offensively because I'm a lot of punch. That trio of offensive players is great. Derek Lively to hold down your rim defense and be the lob threat to bring it all together offensively. It would make them fucking lethal. I just think it would be really important for them to have a legit lockdown defender at the 3 to fit next to all of them because we've seen Jeremy Grant, like back in his Thunder days, back in his Nuggets days, focus on defense and be a great defensive player and like be legitimately like surprisingly good rim protector from the 4, flexible to play the 3 or the 4, guarding on the perimeter, like very valuable defensive piece. He hasn't been that in some years. He really wants to be a go-to bucket getter guy and get himself paid. That's clearly where he wants to take his career. He looks at himself in the mirror and he sees Carmelo Anthony, and that's how he plays. If he's going to buy in defensively, play next to Luka and Kyrie, because like you're already paid, you might as well do what the team needs.
Exactly.
Then I like it a lot. But clearly he has a different vision for himself, so I don't know if he's going to buy in like that.
This man just got $157 million. Like he
better buy the fucking...
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, I just say you've played in Detroit and Portland for the last 2 teams. Remember what it feels like to be a winner, to be on a competent team, right? Buy in, play defense, and everything is good.
I like that.
So yeah, that's my move for Jeremy Grant.
If a move like this happens for the Dallas Mavericks, I'm immediately raising their ceiling to like this team could make a run for the Western Conference Finals and potentially make the finals, and it wouldn't shock me at all if everything went perfectly well. But like I just said,
they did. As long as they have Luka and a healthy roster around him, they're always gonna have a chance. So any extra bolstering they can do to their roster, easier for me to say Western Conference Finals is very realistic.
Yeah.
All right, so Brogdon was one of my 5 as well. I didn't have Jeremy Grant, so he's not one of my 5. My next name. Let's talk about Zach LaVine. We haven't mentioned him yet. One of the bigger names in the trade market, has been for a while. It seems like he's all but traded in the same way that Dejounte Murray is. Etch it into stone. He's fucking out of there. It's like the Bulls have made it very clear they don't want him for many reasons. So the problem is he makes a lot of money and doesn't seem to have a very robust trade market right now. And, the only team that's been linked to him hard is the Lakers, but there's been a lot of reports in recent days that they're not that interested. Who knows if it's true or not? No way to tell until the week of the trade deadline comes. But let's not even talk about the Lakers. There's 2 teams I think have a chance to get him that makes sense to me. The Sacramento Kings and the Orlando Magic.
You came to the dark side. Welcome. I've been pushing this propaganda for months on months. Let's ride.
Yeah, about the Kings. We're talking about the Kings here. That Mo's been a big fan of living there. I still don't love it for the reasons you've said. I mean, for reasons I've said in the past when you brought it up. But I think he's going to be cheap enough that it probably makes sense. Mixed with the fact that Kevin Huerter's been dog shit this year. He just can't buy a 3. has not been the level of play we saw of him last year. Which I say that I don't know what he's been shooting as of late. Maybe he's recovering. I'm not sure. Let me not completely shit on him without knowing for sure. But they clearly need an upgrade at the 2 or 3. Keegan Murray is there to stay. He's awesome. I think he has very, very, very high level role player potential. Maybe could be all-star level. Who knows? But Harrison Barnes and Herter aren't going to cut it. Malik Monk is getting a lot of the runs at 2 guard, who's great. But they can use an extra punch there. So I think they could trade 2 first-round picks, Kevin Herter, Trey Lyles, and Davion Mitchell for Zach LaVine.
I would accept
Davion
that
Mitchell,
if I was the Bulls.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
Hell yeah, you would. If you can get gifted 2 first-round picks for LaVine, you take it in an instant. You don't have any option to say no. But I think they're replacing Herter in the rotation for Zach LaVine. Makes total sense. Trey Lyles is a decent player, not that important, and they clearly don't fuck with Davion Mitchell long term like that. So it's a lot of depth to give up for Zach LaVine. How do y'all feel?
It's depth that would help them get out the mud because
it's a mid-3 too,
now,
so I don't know.
This team, the Sacramento Kings team, I don't know what Kings fans' expectations were or whatever. I know Isaac before the season, you thought they were going to be good and shouldn't lose a step or whatever, but I thought they were going to be worse. Not necessarily like they haven't been as worse as I thought they've been, but what we know them for, they haven't lived up to that expectation. They have the
23 and 17.
They have the 14th rated offense in the NBA, and their defense is obviously worse than that. They've never hung their hat on that end. And if you're going to hang your hat on, being one of the most powerful offenses in the NBA, you have to do that actually. And those things haven't been clicking whatsoever. And so I think this is one of the few ways, not the only way, but one of the few ways to help get yourself back on the right track. And I also think that this trade lifts up their ceiling. Do I think they're going to win a championship? Fuck no. Western Conference Finals? Probably not. But do I think this makes them better? Yes. And that's what all NBA teams should be striving towards at the end of the day.
I'm going to push back on that a little bit because if they were like a top 8 team offensively, I could understand the idea of doubling down. But the fact that they are mid offensively and still bad defensively, it's clearly not the same team as last year where you are the best offensive team and it's okay that you aren't good defensively because you have this amazing offense to balance it out. I think at this point, they need to go and make a move. And I don't have a move off the top of my head for the Kings. I wasn't thinking about that before, but I would rather them see a move to address their defense rather than double down on their offense, especially if your center is Sabonis and kind of like the infrastructure of what you do defensively isn't necessarily like, it doesn't have a high ceiling. So going to get Zach LaVine doesn't fix any of their problems. So I agree. Love it.
I agree, but it's just they got to do something. And I kind of think inversely that their defense is never going to be good with Sabonis.
Exactly.
So you might as well make sure you got an elite offense because you're going to need it if you have a chance with any type of team organization you have.
In my opinion, like you have to lean into what you're known for and your identity. Like why go ahead and try to fix as much as possible a defense with someone who's not a shot blocker, not particularly fast on his feet, can't switch on guards or anything like that. Lean into what you're good at and maximize your potential. And it's okay if you do one thing that you're good at and try to like remain a mid 17th, 18th overall defense in the NBA. That's perfectly fine.
This feels like, though, it feels like it's coming from the perspective of a Kings fan rather than just like an overall NBA like watching phase. Because if you are a Kings fan, you understand that your team has been a poverty franchise for almost 2 decades, and you're like, hey, this is the best it's gonna get. Like, let's just be good, right? And I understand that you've had one winning season or you've had one playoff trip in the last 17 years. You want to hold on to that. But also from an NBA front office, like if you have De'Aaron Fox, you want to be building and moving in a direction that is kind of like championship adjacent, like or at least be on that path to grow to that. So that's why I'm like putting yourself in this position to go give up assets to get a Zach LaVine. You are doing what the Chicago Bulls did. And it's like, hey, let's just be good enough to be in the playoffs. Like it's okay. We know that we're not built to win a championship, but we're going to have fun along the way. And I think that's probably going to create more problems down the line rather than just doing what you're doing, you know?
Yeah. Again, they got to do something. We'll see. You're right. It is a big commitment to Zach LaVine, who has a 4-year contract. So maybe it's not a thing. Nikhil pulled up this tweet. So we asked people on Twitter to give us trade ideas. This guy has a Kings trade in mind. Kevin Huerter and Chris Duarte for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Reggie Jackson. I think you're clearly not a Nuggets fan.
Caps out.
Yeah. Put this guy in the gulag.
Send us your Addy, bro.
The Nuggets aren't trading Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. It would be awesome for the Kings if they would, but there's no reason for the Nuggets to do something like this. They're good. But anyways, I don't really like the Kings trade that much either. I threw it out there because I see it as realistic. The team that I really want LaVine to go to is the Orlando Magic. I don't even know if the Magic would do this because there's been no real rumors about it. But I would love to see 2 first-round picks, Gary Harris, John Isaac, and maybe Caleb Houston for Zach. Big sneeze. For
like
Zach LaVine. It is a lot. So you can take out Caleb Houston if you'd like. John Isaac, Gary Harris, and 2 first-round picks. Or as this tweet pulled up and then Kill pulled up, John Isaac, Markelle Fultz, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick. Whatever variation of picks that they negotiate to and get to find fair, John Isaac, salary, and picks for Zach LaVine. I see the vision heavy.
I can see the vision with this, with not giving up 2 first-round picks. Okay. I think that's a bit much. But if this is the move, I think I could talk myself into it in like 2 weeks, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, like this is something that obviously we talked about Orlando earlier. Like they need spacing, they need some more scoring from the guard position.
Yeah,
this is kind of light though. This is just one Denver first-round pick. Like I think Zach LaVine, listen, he's very flawed, on a big contract, making a lot of money. He's a good-ass player. I think if the one first-round pick is a Denver first-round pick in 2025, I think you got to throw another one in there.
Yeah, I agree, but it just depends on the market overall. At the end of the day, the market determines the value of these players, and this could be passable. I like this. This is basically the same trade that I had, except for the Atlanta Hawks and Zach LaVine. And you guys are right. This right here is, I don't want to say a match made in heaven because defense exists, but if there's going to be a player who the Orlando Magic should target, it's going to be someone of Zach LaVine's archetype. Now,
he'd be awesome there, bro. He'd be so good.
Yeah, but with the Chicago Bulls dare hit up a team like the Orlando Magic after they got like finessed a couple years ago and robbed out of their entire future, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's kind of dirty business.
They would. I think they would try to right their wrongs and be like, listen, let's try this again. We're ready this time. And then
listen, Zach LaVine does not have a robust trade market. If the Magic are throwing picks, they're going to fucking catch them. Like they don't have the option to be picky and hold ill will towards anybody. They are down bad and need somebody to take Zach LaVine off their hands.
Whew.
But Paolo has basically been playing the point guard lately, especially with Franz out. He's getting better. Those reps are important for him. He'll be a lead ball handler for a while. They still need to figure out the point guard. Maybe it'll be Suggs. Maybe it'll be Anthony Black eventually. I don't know. But Zach LaVine being able to play off ball there and truly thrive as an off the dribble shooter and catch and shoot shooter, guy coming off of screens, guy cutting off ball, getting the on ball touches whenever Paolo's on the bench. It makes so much sense there for his skill set.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be allowed to be the one option or think he is, which he doesn't need to, right? Like he needs to be put into more of a tertiary role. And I just can't think of a better fit there offensively.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, Paolo Banchero has been fighting for his fucking life, playing with Chuma Okeke, playing with Caleb Houston, playing with Markelle Fultz, who's back now again, of course, and Jonathan Isaac and them boys. Like, he has no spacing, and this would elevate a team like the Orlando Magic's ceiling to one of the 7 guaranteed best teams in the Eastern Conference. I think they're 7th right now, which is absolutely hilarious. But maybe they could get up to 6th. And I think this puts them on the right path of like contending for a championship one day, which should be their aspirations.
Guaranteeing that the team is going to be one of the 7 best in the conference is hilarious.
They're number 8 right now. That's so funny.
So you are going to be the first team in the play-in tournament this year. You'll play a home game. Good job.
Do either of you have Zach LaVine trades before we move on?
No, I actually don't have a Zach LaVine trade.
My Zach LaVine trade would be the Lakers package for LaVine.
Okay, instead of Dejounte?
Yeah.
Me personally, I'd prefer that, but I know there's been a lot of reports from well-trusted Lakers insiders that they're not that interested in LaVine for whatever reason, maybe. I would personally am very moved by Zach LaVine next to LeBron and AD. So I hope that one happens more than I do Dejounte.
Yeah, I just think that fit would be much, much better. And especially like once we get to the playoffs, and we've seen LeBron play, off ball more this year and doing that type of role. Listen, when it comes down to it, the ball's going to be in LeBron's hands, right?
Yeah.
And so having somebody who could play off of him and have that scoring upside that Zach LaVine has, I think that once you get to April, May, June, that would raise the Lakers ceiling immensely, and that it's a much better fit than Dejounte.
My dream is that Dejounte package, but you throw in Austin Reeves and you get Caruso back as well. Caruso and LaVine next to LeBron and AD fucking moves me. That'd be awesome.
That would be nuts. Caruso, LaVine, Braun, or whoever. You could move Braun to the 5. Probably Torian Prince, Braun, and AD is fucking crazy. Now that team, the Lakers would officially be back if that was to be a thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll happen though. All right, I think Donovan, it's your turn. Who's the next player we should talk about?
Next player. I have been talking about this since week 2 of the season that the Spurs need a point guard, and I've been saying they need to go out. They need to get Tyus Jones. And if I were them, I would trade Devontae Graham and a picks to go get Tyus Jones. What's up?
I like it. The only worry I have is, it's half a season left. They're tanking. Mm-hmm. They're going to have a high first-round pick. Do they want to trade a first-round pick for Tyus when they're probably going to pick one of the top of next year's draft? And they already have Trey Jones, who's starting now and playing decent?
The only thing I would be worried about in that sense is that even like the top teams, it's not as guaranteed as it is anymore that you like are going to have the number 1 pick. Like we've seen the Pistons, you know what I'm saying? Like we saw the Pistons have the worst record in the league and then fall to 4 in a draft, or fall to 5, which is like, or maybe it was 4, I can't remember.
It was 5.
That was ridiculous. So for the Spurs, it doesn't necessarily have to be this next year, right? You can put it 2 years away or whatever. But I think a first-round pick and Devontae Graham, who just barely played this year, to go get Tyus Jones. And even if you go and you end up drafting a point guard this year, having a competent veteran point guard in the building with your young rookie point guard would make sense in the future anyway. So it makes sense now and later.
Yeah, I like that. My only thing was like, do they view Trey Jones like already being that as like the ideal backup next year? Maybe, but if they don't view him on that level, I like that. Tyus Jones would be a great fit there.
No, yeah, I 110% agree. But for the Spurs, they're not a team that tends to make in-season trades. Like that just isn't their GM's forte necessarily, other than them trading away Jakob Poeltl just a couple years, or was it last season, I believe? Damn, Masai, that's so tough. Anyways.
That was one of the dumbest trades of all time. Like, don't even get me started.
He's washed. But anyways, like I'm saying, the Spurs just aren't used to doing that. But I love the idea, and I see the vision of if this was to happen, Wemby would have that Rookie of the Year award secured because he has a point guard to put the ball in his hands. That's it.
Yeah. Do you have a Tyus Jones trade, Mo?
No, I don't necessarily have a Tyus Jones trade, but I have another trade that could potentially work. Okay. And it's in the similar tier, not moving really mountains necessarily. So low-key trade. The Sacramento Kings going back
Hey, I'm sorry, listen. We are going to get to your trade. Who tweeted this, man? Who tweeted this? Listen, we asked everybody to drop their favorite trade moves. Somebody said Donovan to rehab. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. That's rude and disrespectful, and I don't appreciate it.
Right? Rehab for what? Is there something you need to tell us, Donovan? Exactly. What does he know that? No, there's no exactly. I'm asking you right now. What is going on?
Bad draftinitis?
I didn't know. I didn't know I had a problem. I didn't know this was an intervention.
Listen, the first step is acceptance. So, he's helping you along the road.
Tell me what is wrong. Right?
Excessive hating. That's what I would say. That'll be my guess, probably. This is not even funny.
See, now it's not funny. Now it's not funny about you.
Bro.
He's cooking. Shout out to Keontae George Muse. Keep cooking.
Yeah.
What's your low-key trade?
Yeah. So
if there isn't an Isaac tweet, this guy's racist.
Back to basketball. Low-key trade. The Sacramento Kings make a move with the Toronto Raptors. The Kings send Kevin Huerter to the Raptors for Bruce Brown. Why?
I like that.
Two players have generally what the other teams need. The idea of Kevin Huerter sounds really nice. He hasn't been that this season as a whole, but you have to envision that the type of basketball, the running gun type basketball that their head coach in Toronto is trying to establish helps a lot. And Bruce Brown, who hasn't been the Bruce Brown that we saw last year necessarily, could eventually get back into the mold alongside De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, and that could help solidify the Sacramento Kings to be at least mid defense. And also, he's a great offensive player too. You can't undermine that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. I like that move so much more for the Sacramento Kings than going star hunting and going out and getting Zach LaVine, because it actually addresses something. And having Bruce Brown in the building is so. That's a shout out to you. That's a great trade. That's a great trade. And for Toronto, the lineup of having Quickly, Huerter, RJ, Scotty, like that four,
that's nice.
That could do some stuff. I'm kind of intrigued by that. So I think that works out for both teams.
Yeah, I'm intrigued in general by Bruce Brown because he's very like clearly a candidate to get moved again, since they don't really need him in Toronto as they're hopefully entering a rebuild and focusing on young talent. Like, so many teams could use him. Like, if you tell me he ends up on any of which contender in the league, I'll be, oh, that makes sense. Like, the price isn't going to be too high. You know, he makes a lot of money, but they can figure it out. The funniest outcome would be D'Angelo Russell getting traded for Bruce Brown. That'd be hysterical with all the beef they've had.
Wait, you're right. They have beef. You're right. I forget about that.
Yeah, they constantly, every time they see each other in the court, they're calling each other a bitch. It's great.
It's a good old-fashioned mid-off. Just two role players just hating each other. But I also have a Bruce Brown trade, though. I also have a Bruce Brown trade.
Let it rip.
Listen, I was very biased and homer in my trade predictions. I want Bruce Brown to be a Knick. And
I see it.
Listen, there's been a lot of talk that the Knicks are ready to move on from Quentin Grimes. Let's say Quentin Grimes.
To get him out of here.
He was playing 30 minutes a night last year. That's not the case anymore. And even with the bench depth kind of being, evaporated after IQ, I like the role for a bench player on the Knicks, and to have Bruce Brown, who is just the perfect guy to play for Tibbs. Just the exact archetype of bench player that Tibbs would want. Not Scotty. OG is playing, 43 minutes a night. Bruce Brown would play 37 minutes a night. And I think that for a relationship that doesn't seem like it's going, Quentin Grimes hasn't been given the space. Send him up there with IQ, with Quickly and with RJ. Let him thrive up there, kind of grow, and we'll give them an asset. And let's make that happen.
I think it's a great trade. I like it a lot. I would love to see them get him and Brogdon. Then I would like really hit the Knicks seriously as having like some good depth. Still wouldn't pick them to get out the East, but like that'd be a team you don't want to see in the playoffs. There's always like a tier of contenders that you're like, they're a tough out. You don't want to see them in the second round. The Knicks would firmly be in that.
Yeah, I need that.
I agree.
I need that.
All right, let's go to the next player. Let's see. We're almost an hour and a half in. Hadn't even gotten a TikTok done yet. Let's get through the rest of our trades. The next player I want to talk about is, let's go back up, Terry Rozier. I think Terry Rozier is incredibly. Oh, before we move on to that, I see a tweet from Rudy right here. Quentin Grimes for Conchar and 2025 first round pick, top 10 protected. Quentin Grimes in the Grizzlies.
Nice.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Good trade, Rudy. I like it. Keep it up, man.
Yeah.
Good shit. So yeah, man. Terry Rozier. I think they should trade him. I think it makes total sense. He has a lot of value. He's having an incredible year. A lot of teams could be useful to have him on their team. I think if the Orlando Magic don't get Zach LaVine, they should throw that basically exact same trade package for Terry Rozier. But instead of 2 first-round picks or an extra young player, just 1 first-round pick, Gary Harris and John Isaac. If you're not going to go for a Zach LaVine type to be a shooting guard next to Paolo and Franz, Terry Rozier can be like the combo guard, pseudo point guard there. Perfect fit. Bucket getter. Solid passer. Like, he's been, when the time that LaMelo Ball was out, he was averaging over 7 assists. Like, he can play make better than you think. And I just think it would be a glove and hand fit.
I absolutely love it. That is a W trade. That he's in the similar mold of, I guess you could say, someone like Zach LaVine, but he is so much more cheaper. And I think the production drop off is not like dramatically steep enough to where like it doesn't make a change in your offense. And the shooting's there, the self creation's there. Again, the shooting is there, which is like the most important aspect of this trade. Yeah. And shooter. It just opens up a whirlwind of options offensively, which is what they're deficient of currently. So I love it. It's a W trade in my opinion.
I want to salute you again, Isaac. This is another, you guys, listen, going back to back. These are great trades. Yeah, I think the main thing that we are going to see with Orlando Magic trades is you just need more firepower. You need more offense, right? And for a team that has a good defensive infrastructure, getting somebody in there who could score the ball, take the pressure off of Franz and Paolo, that is very, very necessary. So any one of these types of players it makes sense.
I love it. We got this tweet pulled up right now that Nikhil pulled up. Somebody said Terry Rozier and PJ Washington going to the Warriors for Chris Paul, Kuminga, Moody, and a first-round pick. That's way too much. We don't got to give up Kuminga and Moody. That's extreme. But do you guys like the idea of Rozier and PJ Washington in Golden State?
That helps. That definitely helps. I think this probably might be one of the best trades I've seen for the Warriors because they're adding like 2 quality players who can actually make a real difference. Now you do lose like Moses Moody or Kuminga or one of those two or whatever, which kind of hurts a little bit. But at the end of the day, you get Terry Rozier who can give a like much needed offense to them, and then PJ Washington too, like has always been one of the more underrated players or role players in the NBA. So this is a great trade.
Terry Rozier doesn't strike me as a Warriors type of player, but neither did Chris Paul, neither did D'Angelo Russell. Who knows? They just really want Steph Curry to be a shooting guard now for some reason. So maybe this gives you an avenue to do it. I don't know.
I mean, maybe, but maybe after 2 failed trades that under that same mold, they're like, okay, let's stop trying to get another guard to play alongside Steph Curry to make him the 2. Also, Terry Rozier is only 29 years old. For some reason, I thought that he was like 30. I thought he was like 30 plus. That's
what?
Very shocking.
I thought it was like 27 or 26. He's 29.
Wow, I'm shocked. I thought he was much older.
Do you guys have a Terry Rozier trade?
Now, I will say I do not have a Terry Rozier trade, but I was fighting for my goddamn life trying to look for a Terry Rozier trade to the Minnesota Timberwolves because the T-Wolves are by a good margin. Yes, they're by a good margin the best defensive team in the NBA, but they have the 20th best offense in the NBA. And so that just signals to me they need another punch offensively, or they have to eventually like deal with the inevitable, which is we all know what it is. Rudy and Cat. Yeah. They'll figure it out.
They're not going to trade for someone that highly paid though this year.
They can't. They literally can't because the books just don't work and they don't clear. And Mike Conley is just way too valuable on the court. One of the best shooters, one of the 5-10 best shooters in the NBA this season, and also off the court too, doing veteran things with Anthony Edwards and settling the team down whenever they're too, angsty or whatever during clutch and important moments. I wouldn't do that necessarily, but I want to see another guard coming off of the bench. And I see right here, Nikhil pulled it up, Tyus Jones to the Washington Wizards for centered around Kyle Anderson and the rest of those guys. That's an interesting trade.
Not slow.
Kyle Anderson. Yeah, I don't think they're going to trade Kyle Anderson. I think he's a big part of the rotation off the bench.
Yeah.
But it's Tyus Jones for Kyle Anderson, Shake Milton, and a second-round pick. All right. I don't think they need Tyus Jones. I think I could see them getting another guard, but it has to be more of a scoring punch, I think. I think they need like a real bucket getter on the bench. And they want Shake Milton to be that. He hasn't done shit for them, though.
He's been ass. He's a bunch of shaking that ass. So that's why.
Who's your next player, Mo?
That was my team, bro. I'm all out. I ain't got any more trades with me. I ain't have no options, no answers.
All right. You got one more, Donovan?
Nope. Those are my 5.
All right, I got one more. Kelly Olynyk. The Utah Jazz have been rumored a lot to be sellers. Just not even rumored. They've been wished to be sellers. People have been begging for every time there's a mid team with interesting players, people just try to will into existence. They trade them to teams that they like more. It's been Larry Marketing for most of the year. That's not happening. They've been extremely good as of late. But despite them being really good, they're obviously going to look towards the future. They're a rebuilding team. I think Kelly Olynyk is a prime candidate to get moved, so that way they can continue to be good. They keep Sexton, they keep Lauri Markkanen, but they cash in Olynyk for a first-round pick. And, the team that's been linked to Lauri Markkanen hopes is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Lauri Markkanen's not getting moved. They're not going to make the all-in move. But I think Kelly Olynyk to the Thunder for Davis Bertans, his contract, and a first-round pick, that fixes a lot for the Thunder, I think. Get them one more big body that can stretch the floor, a legit backup 5 who can also play next to Chet and give them size. I love that.
Any trade. Yes, exactly. Any trade involving the Thunder in a first-round pick, I'm like, hey, go do it. 'Cause you have a million of them. And what if literally the cost is one of those first-round picks and Davis Bertans? Yeah, go make the trade, right? It doesn't look like they're going to make the all-in trade, but every trade doesn't have to be the blockbuster trade. You can make moves around the margins. And we've had this conversation with this team recently in that do we think that they even need to make one of those big trades, or is the core of Shea, Chet, and J-Dub already good enough and now you just need to do the tweaking? I think this works and I think this helps them a lot. So I like this.
This trade is beautiful in every way imaginable. Kelly Olynyk, I never thought I would say this out loud, especially, but he's one of my favorite role players to watch in the entire NBA. Just the way he plays makes everyone's life so much easier. The passing, he can handle the ball a little bit. Of course, the most valuable asset that he provides is his spacing. It's just like something it's one thing that you don't see too often being done at a high level coming off of the bench. And so I think this would, for a team like the OKC Thunder, who have no type of veteran experience, no real veteran experience on the team at all, this could help them potentially like win a playoff game at least. And,
game.
Yeah, like Kelly Olynyk could win a game one day.
All that rant. Game. A singular game. Yeah, man. Well, that's my 5 trades. We all went through 5. Talked at length about some of the hottest names in the trade deadline. This is the end of the first half of the pod. You know what time it is. I don't even got to say it.
You know what to do. Let's do it.
Transition. As always, we're going to start with the draft. Today, we're going to get back to doing a player-based draft where we draft skills, and we're going to build the perfect players with only skill sets from international players that are in the league right now.
Let's run.
Let's
run.
do it.
I'm locked in. I had a disgusting draft on the stream. I'm ready to redeem myself.
Yeah, you probably had the worst draft in T3 history since at least since the early Mo days where he was just terrible every single time. You made history. You stooped down to Mo's level.
Come on now.
Hey. What do you mean by Mo's level? What do you mean by that? Ain't nothing wrong with being at my level.
Yeah, so the draft order is Mo, Donovan, me. You see, Nikhil put the flags for each of our countries where our nationalities are from.
That is hilarious.
Love it.
So, yeah, man,
All right.
As always, body, shooting, finishing, defense, passing. Only international players in the league right now. Mo, where's the first pick going?
The first pick is going towards passing for Luka Doncic. Let's do
Okay.
it.
All right.
Probably, in my opinion, the best passer in the NBA this year.
He's definitely up there.
All right. That's cool. I also want to go passing. Give me Nikola Jokic passing.
Oh, thank God y'all are bozos. Give me Victor Wembanyama's body.
Okay.
Cool. Not move.
And give me Giannis Antetokounmpo's finishing.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Cool.
That's fine. I figured
I'm already
So,
a god.
I figured you were going to go there. That's okay. That's okay.
You figured right. It was the right choice.
Give me here's where I want to go. Give me oh wait, no, he's already off the board. I messed up. All right. Give me Joel Embiid body.
Okay.
Nice.
Big heavy set. All right.
Okay. Y'all got all the good bodies out of the way. So
Whoa.
something that I gotta go ahead and do. Let's say for finishing, give me SGA.
Okay.
Oh, I said that weird. For finishing, give me SGA. My voice.
For finishing the SGA.
Yeah. My voice.
Talking in slow motion.
My voice died.
Yeah.
I heard my own echo in my head. I'm like, am I in the afterlife?
Man had an out of body experience mid pod. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and then, man. Okay, cool. So for defense, go ahead and give me OG Anunoby.
Okay,
I got a great wing right now.
You do have a good one.
You're cooking so far.
Let's go. For defense,
Cooking.
For defense, give me Rudy Gobert.
Okay.
Yawn.
That moves. That moves. That's a W.
DPOY, yawn.
You can have them. My turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that. I don't know who I'm going to pick. Damn. Never mind. You might have fucked me because I'm a big. Oof. Okay, so. Oh, wait. No, I'm good. For shooting, give me Lauri Markkanen. The Finnish hammer.
Damn
nice.
It. Damn it. Okay.
Yep. And then you know what? For defense, give me Dylan Brooks. I'm going to be mad versatile guarding on the perimeter with Wemby's wingspan. Nah, lock it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally gotten it. We have finally gotten the moment that Isaac sold a draft. He took Dylan Brooks as his defense.
Dylan Brooks is a great perimeter defender. Y'all tripping.
You got a perimeter defender in a big body? Okay,
In Wemby's body. He can move.
I mean, I get it, but it's like
Wemby's not a regular big.
I get
Wemby's
it,
not a regular big.
It's okay. It's okay.
Now y'all trying to force the hate. Don't let them convince you that's not nasty. Don't let them convince you that's not raw.
It's okay.
Don't let them convince you I didn't build Kevin Durant on steroids. This is a demigod.
Kevin Durant is gross, bro. Relax.
It is.
Okay. They're
gonna try and tell you that's not raw. Don't listen to them.
Let's see. You messed me up because I wanted to take Lowry shooting. So
I'm sure you
for
did.
shooting, give me Jamal Murray.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay. That's tough. That was my pick. I ain't gonna lie to you. Go to hell. But it's okay because this season I got an absolute flamethrower on my side. Give me Bogdanovich for shooting. Stupid underrated. Man. You
got it. You got
fucking fire.
You got it.
And then for body. Now this is where I'm in a tough spot right now. But for body, y'all got bigs. I have to match up some way, somehow, be a little bit more nimble too. Give me Pascal Siakam.
Okay.
All right.
I think that fits your player very well.
Yeah, I thought you were building a guard, so you go into a big threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam got guard skills, man. What are you talking about? Spicy P? Do your research.
Okay. All right. Anyways, listen, we hear these stories about Michael Jordan, Anthony Edwards having these 48-inch verticals, jumping high. Imagine if Joel Embiid could jump higher than everybody else on the floor. For finishing, I want Jonathan Kuminga's finishing.
Okay.
Does finishing give you vertical or is that in body?
I get his dunk
it
package.
gives you. Fuck it. Let's do it. That's nice. I like that.
For passing, give me Baby Jokic, Alperen Sengun.
Ew, Baby Jokic. That's nice. I can't even hate.
My player's cooking. I'm mobile. I'm 7'2". I can guard on the perimeter. I can. Getting Wemby's body is such a cheat code. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. I wanted to get it too, but I'm like, you know what? I got him last draft, and I don't want to repeat and just beat a dead horse. So I was like, let me switch it up. So for body, I got Pascal Siakam shooting, Bogdanovich finishing, SGA defense, OG Anunoby, and passing Luka Doncic. I literally just made prime LeBron James, bro.
I don't know about that. All right,
relax.
Yeah, my player. I have Joel Embiid's body, Jamal Murray shooting, Jonathan Kuminga finishing, Rudy Gobert defense, and Nikola Jokic passing. This is a perfect version of Nikola Jokic. All of his flaws, no athleticism, right? Upgraded defense, perfect player.
I have Victor Wembanyama's body, Lauri Markkanen shooting, Giannis' finishing, Dylan Brooks' defense, and Sengun's passing.
That just looks like Pete KD to me, man. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Here's what I need to know. Here's what I need to know about your player. Whose handles do you have? That determines a lot. That determines everything.
I guess I don't know. Where do the handles come from?
Wemby, they have to.
Finishing, I guess? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
A mix,
yes.
whatever. Either way, I'm like a small forward / power forward that's 7'4" guarding everybody. I'm unstoppable.
Until I
my guard
put my
skills are-
shoulder into your chest under the rim, do a Space Jam dunk, jump 20 inches into the air, dunk it in your face.
All I'm saying
Space Jam
is
jump.
you're not stopping me because I'm 2013 LeBron over here.
Who do you think?
You're out of your mind.
Who do you think you drafted? Like, that's not.
Siakam's body is giving you
Yeah,
LeBron hops.
Siakam's body,
Fuck outta
Luka
here.
passing, the defense, the finishing, the shooting. You can't. There's no flaw in my game right now.
You're just way slower and jump way less high than prime LeBron. I don't know where you're getting
so
this LeBron
2018
comparison
LeBron,
from.
whatever. I'm still the best here.
You made
Wemby's body.
you made Pascal Siakam who could pass. Like, that's really what you did.
Ew.
Which is a great player.
Yeah, he's good. He's just not like the demigod that we made.
He's better than yours. That's all I know.
That is not true. I'm 7
All right. Well, you let us know in the comments who is the best player here. You know it's going to be Wemby. Let's keep going. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to guess
This
NBA
guy.
players based on their jerseys.
All right.
So I'm going to show you their jersey. You'll see the team, the number, the design on it. We'll tell you some stuff. And you got to guess who the player is.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Interesting.
Real simple. Should be fun. So tell me which NBA player this is based on the jersey. First off, whose jersey is this?
Oh, this is
This
easy,
is
ain't
kind of
it?
easy. The old school, or not even old. Wow, I guess
This is not old
I guess
school.
10 years ago kind of is like a throwback.
Fuck, you're right,
That's
dude. We're
that's
getting
kind
cooked,
of
man.
wild. That's kind of wild. Listen, but this is a point guard who is on the phone with every NBA team every day looking for a job. Stays grinding. This is Isaiah Thomas.
Correct. This is Isaiah Thomas, 2016 legend.
That jersey was nasty too. I'm not gonna lie.
It was. Listen,
great.
apparently everybody peaked in 2016. That was just the year to be outside.
All right, next up, who is this player?
Ooh,
Ew.
Let's
Off the
see.
top of my head, this is a new era. Could this
it
be?
is.
Man, I might look dumb, but could this be Josh Hart?
You do look dumb, but not
Ew.
for this reason. You're correct. This is Josh Hart.
Ew. Why did I just know that? God, that's gross. I need to
He
touch
looks like
grass.
Anthony Ramos in this picture. I just realized that.
Who?
He looks like Anthony Ramos,
Kind of.
the actor.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yep. Okay, y'all are 2 for 2. Next up, who is this?
Oh, I know this one. First of all, this
Hit him
is
with it.
an elite Lakers Sunday white jersey. This is Mr. Champion himself, Mr. I Love Pandas himself, Metal World Peace, Ron Artest. This is his jersey.
Correct. This is the Panda's friend.
Wait, where'd the panda reference come from? I'm lost.
He changed his name to
His
that.
name is the Panda's friend.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The more you know.
Moment of silence for
You're
the
not keeping up on
champions.
them.
For those who make going harder
All right, next
lifestyle.
up.
I love that song.
All right, next jersey. Who is this man?
Oh my god, this is peak basketball right here. I almost just
This is
exploded.
peak
ascended.
failure
This
basketball.
is-
That's what this is.
Hey, you shut your goddamn
I'm
mouth.
just being
This
real.
is my
I'm
goat
just being
here.
real.
I got a PG-13 jersey right now. PG-24.
This is
actually,
playoff P,
right?
correct? That's what I'm saying. This
Yes, this is playoff P.
This is failure
This is
basketball.
MVP PG. This is peak basketball right here. This is peak mixtape basketball.
This is 2 of
Greatest basketball
14.
player.
This is 2 of 14 against the Utah Jazz. That's what this is.
Listen.
This is getting beat by
All right, guys.
Donovan
Either
Mitchell.
way. All right, you're correct. This is Paul George.
This is
that
my
jersey was
MVP
so elite.
season. He was just top 3 in voting. Get out of here. He didn't win it.
That's hilarious.
He was the 9th best player in the league in his MVP season.
Shout out.
That's mode. Impromptu stood up.
I
Y'all
thought he
ain't
was
seen
about
that.
to fight me over FaceTime.
I'm trying to choke you.
All right, next player. Who is this?
This is disgusting right here, man.
This
This
can
is a
go
shame.
3 ways.
This can go 2 ways.
Kind of 3.
All right. Really 2. This is either D Wade or Isaiah Thomas.
I think it's D Wade.
Let's roll with it.
We're going Dwayne Wade.
Correct. This is the most downtrodden year of Dwayne Wade's career. 2018
He does
Cavs.
not look right. in
Someone, this picture needs to be wiped from the internet. I know it needs to see this. The FBI need to get their hands on this era
Yeah, someone called the TSA or something. I don't know. Yeah.
TSA.
Just get out. We'll call the TSA to save us.
That's hilarious. Are they damn near the cops? Shit.
They think they're the fucking cops.
Yeah.
Next up, who is this?
Now,
Man.
a casual may see this, and actually a casual may not even know this player, but a casual may see Lakers number 2 and think Derek Fisher. But you have to understand, the Nike check is there, right? The logo. This is new era. This is Big Baller Brand original Lonzo Ball himself.
Correct. 2017
Nice.
Lonzo Ball with the wish pass.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Magic Johnson said his
man.
number would be retired. This jersey is nowhere near the rafters in Staples Center.
All right, next up, who is this?
Who you got?
Yeah. This could be, this is only Andre Iguodala.
I concur.
Final. Correct. This is Andre
I was about
Iguodala.
to
Y'all,
say,
this is so
no
easy.
way. No way you're gonna.
I
sum
low-key-
it.
I
don't know
low-key
why
forgot his
this is
number.
Yeah,
Me,
no.
I forget everybody's number. I'm bad with numbers, so I thought y'all would be like struggling. Y'all are flying through this.
I have no idea why I'm good
No,
at
man.
this. I thought I would be
Our
struggling
ball
too.
knowledge is elite. We prove this every week.
I guess these are nostalgic.
You haven't gotten a single one wrong yet. Jesus. All right, next one. Who is this player?
This is where we get one wrong. God damn, because the Pistons got so many nobodies, bro.
You don't know this?
Huh?
You don't know this?
23.
Yes.
Let me
Oh,
guess.
this,
Come on.
is this Jaden Ivey? I
no,
don't know.
no. That guess does not count for us.
Oh, I know who this
That guess
is.
does not count for us. This
I know who this is.
Stand-up comedian Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Correct.
There we go.
Come on, man.
There we go. I don't know why.
2018 Blake Griffin.
2018
I
Blake
was
Griffin.
thinking about this
That's a
year.
Hall of Fame player for that year only.
He set the blueprint, bro, for players like Paolo Banchero and Carlos Boozer.
Carlos Boozer came before him. How did he set the blueprint?
Oh, my bad. I said Carlos Boozer. I meant to say his son. I forgot his son's first name. Fuck. His son's ridiculous right now, bro.
All right.
Yeah, but that's the end of
I
that
guess.
segment.
That's hilarious.
The next thing we're going to do, we're going to bring back a segment we've done a few times now. Deal or no deal. This time, we're going to do it around. You know, last time we did SGA, Aura Man. We're going to do Aura Man 2, Anthony Edwards today.
Oh, man.
So you know how this goes. I'm going to name you some trade packages. You tell me if you would take the deal or not and if you would trade Anthony Edwards.
Okay. Mo,
Okay.
understand. This is my franchise, all right? I'm not
Oh,
going to
whoa,
listen
whoa,
to you.
whoa. Listen. This man right here that we're looking at has been averaging 28 points per game over the last 17 games, shooting 40% from the field. I will
17
fire you
games.
on the spot.
What a cherry
Yes.
pick stat,
He's
bro.
been cooking.
17 games.
Get out.
That's like November and December.
outta here.
Great.
Yeah, man. He's cooking as of late.
Over the last
30.
16
Awesome.
games in 22 minutes. His per 36 is 37 points per game. Get out of here.
All right, man. So first trade. Would you trade Anthony Edwards for Paolo Banchero and Anthony Black?
Nah, man.
Paolo Banchero and Cam Wilder? Fuck no. Get out of my face. Sorry, bro. Cam Wilder, I love your YouTube series, your TikTok. The Instagram is hidden, but I can't do it.
Listen.
He's a great
Paolo
dude.
doesn't move you?
No.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Seeing his Creator League performance, shout out to you, but no.
You don't think Paolo's going to be as good as Anthony Edwards one day?
It's a different level to this. It's a different level. He possibly could. It won't surprise me at all because Paolo's that level of talent. But we've seen too many players like Anthony Edwards in his mold become top 5. And I don't necessarily see that for Paolo. I think he's more top 15 range at his peak.
You got to understand. Just like Marvel went from Chris Evans to Anthony Mackie, there's a new Captain America, right? We have a black Captain America, and it's Anthony Edwards. This guy was leading Team USA. He's taking the leap. He is the cornerstone of my franchise. I'm not trading him for this.
Paolo's great, though.
All right, man. Next up, would you trade Anthony Edwards for Zion Williamson and 2 first-round
Please don't
picks?
disrespect me. Do not call my phone again. Lose my number. I'm not taking the risk
my
on
God.
Zion when I have
Whoa.
Anthony Edwards in the building.
Listen, now Zion's offense isn't centered around him. He's still good, but he ain't great. And those 2 first-round picks could be valuable. But I might have to side with you, Donovan.
Hang up.
Yeah.
Don't call my
It'll
phone.
be tempting. It'll be a little bit tempting.
Don't come by my house.
How quickly Zion How quickly Zion's reputation has fallen. Last year this would be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Damn.
But this year Ant has risen again. Meanwhile, Zion's like over here averaging the same amount. He's over here averaging less points per game than Kyle Kuzma this year. I didn't sign up.
Oh my god.
That's tough.
All right, next up, Anthony Edwards for J-Dub and Chet Holmgren.
Yeah. Man,
We
this
might
is tough. J-Dub literally has all-star potential. Of course, Chet could be an all-star like this year.
We might have
This
to
is
do
tough.
this.
I'm doing this instantly.
You have to do
No hesitation. Give me this package. Chet Holmgren's going to be one of the most valuable players in the league as a big who can shoot and defend the rim that well. And J-Dub's legitimately going to be an all-star as well.
Thank you for your input. Get the fuck out of my front office. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
No, if you don't do this, you are an Anthony Edwards eater. I don't care. You are a munch.
Call
You
me
are
a munch.
slobbing
Call
on
me
it.
an
You are
eater.
glazing
Call
on
me
it.
one of them boys who make a fan page. I don't care what it is.
You
I'm
are
not
making
doing
it shine. That's crazy.
Just
I
bad
said that before in the office.
He said, you know what you are.
Relax. Oh, bro.
No, that's a spit shine right there. That's crazy.
Oh, spit shine is hilarious, bro. He said I'm making it shine. Oh, God. I'm crying right now.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
All right, next up, Anthony Edwards for Tyrese Halliburton.
Now, this is the hardest one right here.
It is.
This
It
is
is hard.
One for one.
It is hard, but I'm saying no just because they're both elite. They both have extremely high ceilings. I feel like it would be a lateral move. I'm sticking with Ant.
I feel like Tyrese is more of a finished and he's closer to reaching his peak already. And he's already one of the 3 best players, in my opinion, at his position. And Ant is that too, I guess. But I don't know. I really don't know. This is hard. I'm torn.
Take Ant. Take Ant.
I'm gonna leave
debate. They're
Tyrese for
honestly-
this one.
They're honestly on the same level. It's like, I guess, who do you think would contribute to winning on a championship team more? Who can you build a contender around better?
Man,
that's
this is
Anthony Edwards.
tough. This is tough because I've seen Ant in the playoffs already. We haven't seen Tyrese Halliburton. That's pending. I want to be different. Give me Tyrese Halliburton.
I want to be different. Nice.
Yeah. Give me Tyrese.
Okay.
All right, we got a split decision. All right. That's the end of that. Those are the 4 trades we had.
Damn.
We got a nice little mix in there. I can't believe Zion is such a no-brainer for no. How quickly he's fallen, man.
That genuinely makes me sick to my stomach just hearing that, dude. Ugh.
All right, next thing we're going to do, you guys are going to blind rank some big men. I love a good blind ranking. You guys are horrible at it. We'll see if this time you guys can redeem yourself and make a good list.
Listen, blind
Damn.
ranking is only about who's given the list, right? You can't predict what's coming next, you know?
Listen,
If
this
anything-
time it's a slideshow that Nikhil has pulled up. So there's no me rigging it. I can't change the player at the end. You can't accuse me of tomfoolery. The names I picked are already on there. So we'll see where we go.
You're still a bad person.
Exactly.
You always want us to lose. Let us shine. Man.
All right, guys. Blind rank these NBA big men. First off, Rudy Gobert.
What do you think, Mo? About 3?
He's perfect 3.
Yeah.
He's perfect 3. I don't think he'll finish at 4 or 5. He's one of the 7 best big men off the top of my head, roughly. in
That's
the
so
NBA.
specific.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's true, though. Listen, DPOY level
Okay.
defense, no bag offensively. Right there in the middle. I think 3's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nice number. Good logic. All right, number 3. Next up, DeAndre Ayton.
Fuck. This man couldn't get through a pile of snow to make the game. Put him at 6, 8, 10 off the list.
No, listen. He could get through. He was not trying to play. He called in sick. He put him at 5. Put him at 5.
He's just like me. I would do the same thing.
Facts.
I love not working.
Listen, this man achieved his goals.
And to get paid to not work? Oh, he's just like me for real.
He achieved his goals, man.
Facts. At number 5?
Yeah.
Next up, Anthony Davis.
I'm leaving this up to you, Mo. I'm recusing myself from this ranking.
Regardless of what I say, you might throw a dart at my neck, but I might want to put him at 1.
I told you, put him wherever you want. I'm
putting him at 1. This list is cooked if he either put Joel or Jokic on there, and I don't know if he'll dare do that. This is where I say Isaac might be a bad person.
I don't know. Which way are you gonna risk it?
I'm putting him at 1. I don't think there's
number
gonna
1.
be a better one. I'll be sick to my stomach though.
All right, next player, Bol Bol.
Oh my god!
Listen, we got to put Bol at 4, I guess, at this point. But hey, listen, at least he's more fun to watch sometimes. just the potential of Bol
10 out of 10, I'd rather watch
Aiden.
Bol play than DeAndre Ayton.
Bol Bol's fun to watch when you think about what Bol probably plays like. When you actually watch him, you're like, oh my god, get him off the fucking court.
But the idea,
who is this reindeer? Get him off the court.
He could be 30 years old. Shaq's still gonna be like, this guy was Wemby before Wemby. It's just the idea.
He needs the opportunity. Like, fuck no, he's ass.
Exactly.
I like seeing Bol try to hoop. It's fun.
So I like seeing him run around out there. All right, Bol number 4. Next up at number 2, Julius Randle.
This list was a W, in my opinion. I love this shit. There we go.
All right, I mean,
we did a good job.
Gobert.
Oh wait, actually I lied. No, Rudy Gobert was at number 3. Fuck.
And you put Bol over Ayton.
No one cares about
Also, question. I thought we were ranking centers.
I said big men.
This guy. See, this is why we call you a bad man. Because you put 4 centers on here and threw a power forward.
I never said centers. I said big man. What does it matter?
Bad guy. Bad guy.
The word center was never
Bad
said.
intentions.
I explicitly wrote big men to leave it open for 4s and 5s.
I'm going to have to start hosting
just like that.
Because we need a host with some integrity around here. You see how it is.
And just like that, y'all, we have our annual Isaac versus Donovan argument. Part 54.
And once again, it's over absolute nonsense.
Exactly. The most unimportant thing ever.
This is foolish.
It's over. Never mind. Next thing we're going to do.
Hilarious.
Let's talk about some basketball, man. Let's get serious. We're doing all this bullshit, all this blind rankings. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's analyze some shit. I'm going to name 2 NBA players, and you guys are going to tell me which one you would rather build your franchise around.
All right. Sounds good to
me.
Do it.
Long-term view, who is going to help you win a championship for your organization?
GMO's in the building.
First up, Ja Morant or Devin Booker?
It has to be
long-term.
Ja Morant.
This is hard.
No, it's not hard. It's not hard.
Oh?
It's Ja
I would
Morant.
lean Ja.
It's Ja Morant. Like,
Yeah.
Why is that so easy? We all
It's
think
not
Devin
easy.
Booker's a better player right now.
For sure.
Ja Morant is still so young in his NBA career, and literally the only thing that is keeping him from being considered as a top 3 point guard in the league is Instagram Live. Like that's the only thing that's keeping him there. When he's on the floor, the Grizzlies are different. We've seen the Grizzlies be legitimate contenders, and their downfall is either him on IG Live or him getting hurt. I'm picking Ja Morant.
We're talking about the best shooting guard in the league. We're not talking about some scrub that's already like past his prime. He's like 26.
Sir,
Yeah,
it's Ja Morant.
Another layer on top of it, I think when I think of these 2 players, I think that Ja Morant will go down. He has a chance to go down in NBA history as one of the best at his position compared to someone like Devin Booker. He could do the same thing, but
one
he
of
has
the
a
best
ways
at his
to go.
position ever?
Yeah, Ja Morant has an opportunity to, for sure, because
Oh,
he's
I
younger
didn't
and
know
there's
Ja
more time
Morant-
on his side. There's the math.
All right, whatever. I didn't know this was Magic Johnson. I'm going Devin Booker.
Wow. Is it clear as day for you?
No, I mean, it's close, but better defensive player, better scorer, very underrated passer. I think
Definitely.
he fits almost any team construction. I don't know why. Devin Booker's a great player. We're forgetting that he's top 10 just because the team is struggling due to poor roster construction.
Yeah.
Devin Booker's incredible.
But show me a highlight where Ja Morant or where Devin Booker put his nuts on someone's chest. You can't. You lost.
All right. Well, fair enough. Not enough bodies were got. My bad. Next up, Nikola Jokic or Luka Doncic?
Woo! See, this is what I like.
Battle of the swaggy white boys. Which one you going with?
White on white crime. Here we go.
This is tough. Logically, it makes sense to go Luka because he's younger, but I still want to go towards Jokic because he's one of, in my opinion, like he's gonna retire as one of the 13 best players ever. Luka has a little bit of ways to go. I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
Jokic.
I don't hate you for picking Luka because I think he also has like a crazy all-time ceiling. But listen, we know Jokic, peak of his powers right now, can win you a championship in a year. I don't know why you wouldn't go with that.
Yeah. I'm going with Jokic.
Yeah, I'm going with Jokic too. Also, because of all the stuff that you said, but also vibes are just better with Jokic. So I'm going that way.
And I know for a fact he'll make any player around him better, and plenty of players can fit alongside him. Luka, TBD. He has the ball in his hands a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
All right, next up, Victor Wembanyama or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I gotta take. It's not even a question.
Finally, a question where you don't put. Never mind.
What?
If you know, you know. If you know, you
Finally,
know.
I found a question where we don't have to slob off Shai. Give me Wemby.
Yeah, nah. There's only one player or maybe two players in the NBA where you'd have to reevaluate yourselves. Really three. But yeah, I'm taking Wemby 9 times out of 10.
I'm taking Wemby 10 times
He's
out of 10.
It's just how Shai's awesome. Gonna be a top 5 player probably. It's so clear that Wemby's gonna be the best player in the league one day. It's got to be him.
I think Shai's creeping his way to top 5. Like right now, he's like top number 5 or number 6. But Wemby has the potential to be one of the best ever point blank period. And Shai,
give me 18 months. That. 18 months and Wemby might be a top 3 player in the league. Like it's gonna be ridiculous when he hits his prime.
Top 10, and we're not gonna know how to address those conversations.
I will know how to address them. I would tell you he's top 10. Like it's just gonna be fact. I promise you.
It'll be very easy for me to say it. I won't hold it back. It won't be hard. Next up, Chet Holmgren or Zion Williamson.
Damn, man. I hate to go.
I have no faith
like this
in building my franchise around Zion Williamson. Give me Chet Holmgren.
Wow.
I have no faith.
Yeah, I think peak for peak, I think Zion can still recover and have a crazy good peak. But just for the reliability factor, Chet is so much safer of a bet to build long term around.
He missed an entire season though.
Okay.
And Zion has missed that times 4.
Yeah, Zion's missed all of his seasons. What do you want from me?
You're right. I'm playing devil's advocate. I think I would genuinely
listen. The devil don't need no advocate.
Too, but...
Give me Chet Holmgren. Give me Chet Holmgren.
2% of me wants to lean towards Zion because I know that potential is unforeseen.
That thing gone.
But
it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, give me Chet.
Chet's biggest issue so far has been LeBron stepping on his foot and breaking that bitch. Zion has much bigger issues. Much bigger.
He's the issue.
Sodas are the issue. Next up, Scotty Barnes or LaMelo Ball.
This is not as easy as many people think at all.
I have one question.
It's not easy whatsoever.
I have one question. Where is my franchise?
What city?
What city?
Good question. Let's call it somewhere very neutral. Indiana. All right. They care about basketball there. Give me Scotty Barnes. Give me Scotty Barnes. If it was a place. What if I would have said Los Angeles?
If it was in LA, Atlanta, or New York or something like that, you gotta go.
What if I would have said the Lakers?
Scotty Barnes.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
No, you gotta go LaMelo.
What did you need to hear then to pick LaMelo? What were you looking for?
Like a Washington or a Utah. I need somebody. If I need somebody who could sell tickets, I'm going with LaMelo Ball. But if I'm going with the city that already knows basketball, is trying to win championships, give me Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, I mean, I think Scotty Barnes is clearly better right now, but LaMelo has had no time to. But LaMelo has had no time to develop. No real supporting cast next to him. No moves to make that supporting cast better. He has a lot of untapped potential that I think in a few years we could look back and be like, we were really underrating LaMelo.
The ankle's weak though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go Scotty, but I don't hate you if you go LaMelo.
Yeah, I think I might lean LaMelo, but that's just
very fair.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna be great. Anybody who's selling LaMelo stock, call me up. I'm buying.
There we go.
There we go. Next up, Trae Young or De'Aaron Fox?
Give me De'Aaron Fox.
Damn, no hesitation.
I'm taking.
That's quick as shit.
I'm taking De'Aaron Fox.
Okay, explain.
I have
Hater, but go ahead, explain.
it's not hater. I've seen both teams, or I've seen both players in fairly decent like situations recently. I think that Trae Young, while great, has some extreme limitations on him to build a championship team, while I think that you can build a more complementary team around De'Aaron Fox.
I would say you're not wrong for that. It's a lot easier to build around someone like De'Aaron Fox, but the ceiling for a Trae Young team may be higher, but at the same time, it's going to be so tough to build a team around him, considering his play style and size.
Yeah, I mean, you just pair him with like Victor Wembanyama or something, then it'll be great. Then they'll win a championship.
Yeah.
Just pair him with the best defender in the world, and you're straight.
Yeah, if you pair him with one of the future 10 best players of all time, like you'll win. But.
Yeah, they were cooking.
Yeah,
I guess it's fair to go De'Aaron Fox. Less question marks there. Trae has the ceiling, but you have really no doubts building around De'Aaron Fox. You know, if you surround him with the right talent, he's not going to be any type of negative for you.
Exactly. His only issue was that he was in Sacramento for years.
Yeah.
With that being said, I'm still taking Trae Young.
Of course you are.
Ride or die over here.
Yeah. You're making it shine again.
God. Loyal to the soil.
That's the end of that segment. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna do something funny before we get out of here. We're gonna react to NBA hair swaps, and we're gonna rate them from 1 to 10.
Let's go.
It's gonna be great.
It's the same thing that people know us for. We're gonna rate hair, right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about some hair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Of all beard hair, head hair. I'll stop there. We're gonna rate some hair.
Oh, God. Show me the hair, please.
Relax.
Nikhil.
So, rate these
down.
NBA hair swaps from 1 to 10. First off, Michael Jordan with the braids.
Is this Travis Scott? Is that who this is? This is crazy.
He look like he in AAU right now, dude. I ain't gonna lie to you. No way. This is just Anthony Edwards, bro. Let's cut the bullshit from last year. Oh, God.
No, his name is Jaden with the Y.
Oh,
Ew.
100%. No, listen, Jaden and Jalen, he might be too dark for that. I'm not gonna lie, but
I'll give this a good 8. It looks. I'll give this a good 8. It looks natural.
yeah, he low-key looks like Lamar Jackson too,
Oh, shit.
right?
That's so
Low-key,
foul and
low-key.
incorrect.
No, I'll give this an 8 too. I like this.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice. I will say this is the most normal one we're gonna get the whole time. I hope you enjoyed it while it lasted.
All right.
Next up, Nikola Jokic with the dreads.
This man is on the beach selling folks bud on the low every single night. Oh, my God, Jokic. What happened to you, buddy?
He reeks.
Yeah, he smells like ass, too.
There's never been a
Jokic.
white man with dreads that doesn't smell a little interesting.
I'm speechless. I have no idea what to say to this. This is crazy.
Jokic, you lost all dignity, man. Please don't go this way, ever.
Whoever photoshopped this, you did my glorious king so dirty. I gotta give it a 0. It's a white guy with dreads. It's automatic 0.
And I know he has some hidden, disgusting tattoos under that jersey, too, with that hair. I just know
facts.
it. I just know it.
He's got a Rick and Morty tattoo on his chest.
Yeah, it's all colored all types of ways, too. It's gross.
The eyes are all red.
Yeah, every day his diet is like week-old pizza. I know this man.
This is just Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Facts. This is a 0 to me, too.
Next up, Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram hair swapped.
Bro, Zion Williamson looks like Mike. He looks like Calvin Cambridge.
I was gonna say he looks like he's playing for Coach Carter. Straight up.
He looks like the smoothest motherfucker in the building. Oh my God. This is a look, Z. This is a look. This just made me realize how bad Zion Williamson's haircut is, though. Because what the fuck is on Brandon Ingram's head? What is on his head? What type of fade is that?
That's a 2K default haircut. Even with the designs on the side. He's a my player.
This is what Isaac's my player looks like on 2K.
Mine? What the fuck?
Except his hair is green. That's the only difference.
I'm giving Zion a 6 and Ingram a 2.
Yeah, Zion looks like a great person. He looks like a 6'7", whatever. But Ingram just looks like a bastard. I don't know what it is. He just looks like a terrible kid.
He's a grown ass man.
Yeah. I just imagine him. I just see this haircut and envision what he's gonna look like. What he looked like when he was younger. He was one of them kids with the silver cap in his mouth.
All right, next up, Trae Young with Luka Doncic's hair.
This looks like a European man who makes the finest dress shoe. Wow. Perfect.
No, he looks like he looks like a shoe salesman for sure.
Man, he looked like one of my Dominican homies. I swear to God.
He looks like he talks and he does this a lot. A lot of hand motion.
He's saying he looks like Luigi. Oh God, he does kind of.
This man loves Formula One. I can tell.
That's what it is. Plus, the little smirk that he has going on. Oh yeah, nah, this haircut fits him.
It's a cocky ass smirk too.
Exactly. No, he's French as fuck. He looks French. This guy loves beignets.
He don't play about his hair routine either.
Yeah. Oh. What do we give this?
I'm gonna give this a 5 because this could be a real person.
It's realistic
and it's not bad.
Honest.
It's not good either. Like fucking 4, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 5.
Next up, we got Luka Doncic with Trae Young's hair.
First of
he
all,
look like he got a beanie that's been through it on his head. He don't even look real.
Listen, the NBA photographers, they need to be nicer. They need to tell Luka, you might want to retake this picture because he looks crazy in this.
Yeah, he has crazy eyes for sure.
For no reason. It looks like he has no teeth too. Listen, that plus Trae Young's hair, just L. This is a 0. He would hate like this for real.
When I see Luka like this, I almost want to reach out of my pocket and donate him $1. I don't know why. They just don't look.
It looks like someone just hit him with some surprising information that he wasn't ready to process.
Yeah. Looks like he's been like nuggied to death with that hair.
What if that's what happened to Trae Young? What if he just got nuggied to death and that's why
it stayed that way forever?
That would explain a lot. That would make sense.
It did damage.
All right, next up. Anthony Davis and LeBron James swapped.
First of all, Anthony Davis looks exactly like Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
That's just Rudy Gobert.
That's just the greatest defender of all time.
2, LeBron looks straight out of the 80s. Just not a clean lineup, hair everywhere, light afro. Is the 80s and Rudy
I just
Gobert.
see him jigging and vibing. Yeah, LeBron looks like he's having the time of his life.
That's a cool cap right there.
Facts.
LeBron still a member of Run DMC.
Run DMC. Now I was kind of thinking more. He is a member of the Black Panthers. I see that right there.
I can see that. Put a beret on that man.
He got to put that 6'7", 6'8" body to use.
I see Anthony Davis and I just see like a member of the U.S. Army. I don't know why. I look in those eyes and I just see a soldier.
I see a commander. To be honest with you, ain't no soldier that big. He kind of looks like a regular person too, though.
He looks so regular. I feel like I see him at the gym.
Listen, that's just Drew Walls without waves. Like that's what that is.
He's making target runs.
Yeah, setting up his tripod 80 times to go sniff flowers. That's it.
So, I could have treated you better, but no.
Say Drake is on his playlist for sure.
Not at all.
I know someone watching this right now looks exactly like AD. So, damn.
So he looks like a TD3 fan. All right, next up. Meta World Peace with Joakim Noah's hair.
Oh, he looks crazy as fuck. He looks like he'll try to bite me, bro. He looks crazy.
Biting somebody is a crazy allegation.
The funniest part is he has that Paul George forehead, low ass hairline.
He just looks crazy, man. Seeing this is one finger. Flinch.
You can fit one finger between his eyebrows and his hairline.
Yeah,
what's funny though is that if his hair could grow this long, I'm 1,000% sure he would have rocked it like this 1 year.
Facts.
Just off the strength of being Ron Artest.
When
this
I see
is a 10. The vibe matches entirely right. Next up, Chris Paul with the swoop over.
Oh, he looks like Jimmy Butler's best friend.
That's what I'm saying. He wants to be Jimmy Butler so bad.
This man is My Chemical Romance fan from day one.
Go ahead.
In touch with his emotions.
Hit it again, Mo. Hit it again. What song is he listening to?
Bro, pick any emo song you want. I got it on the playlist right now. Let's do it.
So you're not gonna sing it for us?
Nah, not tonight. I need some water.
Already soiled a bit.
I threw a
I
perfect lock.
joined in with the haven't you?
Threw the perfect lock.
Nah, this is. I've seen this guy at Hot Topic at my local library. He's never happy. 4.
Yeah, it looks like he's. Oh my God, the Hot Topic shit. You're right. He's always offering some type of discount off, 30% every time. You're right.
Yeah, he's selling Attack on Titan merch. He's not happy with his life.
Listen, Chris Paul, we only see it from the chest up. He's wearing the skinniest of skinny jeans and Vans with holes in them because he's been skating all day.
And you can't forget the little metal chain attached to his pants too.
Oh,
He got
And the
that
spiky
on.
belt.
Yes. Spiky belt is hilarious.
He does a lot of this, throws his hair to the side.
Listen, he might be a weirdo. He might have the little furry tail on his keychain too.
Oh,
This is a 4.
that's
3.
hilarious. Yeah,
All right,
this
next up.
This is a 4.
Next one. Carmelo Anthony.
I almost didn't know who this was. Oh my God.
This is an
Somebody's
80s
grandpa?
pop singer. That's what this is. This is Hall & Oates. I don't know if people know that, but that's who this is.
That's deep, bro.
No, that's a rock star for sure.
Oh yeah,
I don't even know what to say about that. I'm just looking at him like, damn, this is a whole different person.
Yeah, he literally. I said Trae Young looks Dominican. No, this dude looks like someone's old Dominican dad for sure.
It doesn't look bad though. I'll give it an 8. It looks solid.
He kind of looks
Really?
like what I imagine a young Carlos Boozer looking like.
You've said Carlos Boozer twice on this pod now. You're just Carlos Boozer on the mind.
Look, man, I just got done watching some highlights like 4 hours ago. What can I say?
Of Carlos Boozer?
Carlos
Leave me
Boozer
alone.
highlights?
Leave
Okay.
me alone.
Okay,
All right, man.
I guess.
This was the last one. This is the end of the episode. If you're still here, comment.
Carlos
Carlos watching
Boozer
Carlos
highlights
Boozer
are
highlights. Yeah, Carlos Boozer highlights are crazy.
I'm a
This
fan of
motherfucker
ball.
watching Carlos Boozer highlights.
I'm a fan of ball. If y'all know.
Wild.
y'all
Yeah,
know.
man.
See y'all
Wild.
8 p.m. Monday.
Yep. Tune in for the live streams. If you didn't get to see them last, go watch the VODs of the last few. Only like a third of you guys that watch the full pods. Watch that. Tap in
You're not a real crown eater.
and comment. Carlos Boozer highlights are crazy.
Yeah.
See y'all later.